Howdy, everybody. Welcome to Liberty Libations number 183. My name is Jake Green, joined as usual by Zane, Placie, Nick Ciesielski, and Alden Hardee. Fellas, how was y'all's fourth? What was it? Did y'all do a big 250th celebration?
I mean, I was at my neighbor's house and they did, and I feel like I'm a little lucky to be alive, but it went okay. It was fun.
I had a big personal milestone, which is that it was the first time that I personally ever set off a firework.
Oh, okay. You have all your fingers? Prove it. Okay, you're good.
AI.
Zane, how are you that old and it's your first time setting off a fire? I guess. Person. I mean, you own a firearm because I convinced you the one day you should buy one, but
the best kind of firework.
Zane, the funny thing is that the rumors are true. The safety precautions really are just light it and then run away as soon as possible.
No, you light it.
Don't be holding it when you light it.
You can feel the boom.
So I was invited to two parties. One was my neighbor's, and that was a lot of fun. It was good food. I was the only white guy there. It was interesting. It was a good time. I played chess until 1 a.m. It was cool. And then I was invited to another one, my buddy in Atlanta. And honestly, I'm glad I went to this one because he almost lost an eye. So apparently his wife lit a mortar that was she thought it was the thing they were going to be lighting. And it wasn't in the tube. It was just on the table, ready to go.
Oh my gosh.
And a mortar blew up on the table. So that was fun. So
yeah, you'd have lost your whole face.
I have a video of it. He's lucky. It was really bad. He took molten whatever, right to the under the eye here. And there was a big scar.
That's brutal.
So I chose the right one.
Zane, what are you drinking?
I've got a Kahlua and cream with a float of Chambord.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Interesting.
Right. Nick, what do you got?
I've still got the bottle of Penelope bourbon from last week.
Nice. Nick, you may need to log back out and log back in, man. I think there's a big old lag.
I was wondering.
Yeah, I'm seeing
either that or he's just ignoring you for the first 7 seconds after you ask the question.
Yeah. So do that. All right.
He just can't be bothered to answer yet.
Alden, what are you drinking, buddy?
I got now it's half full, but it was a really full Cotter, and then a Kirkland raspberry hard water thing.
Nice.
I recently bought a big case of the Kirkland hard seltzers, and I mean, they taste like every other hard seltzer, except I had some Topo Chicos for the first time on the 4th of July, and they are noticeably better than all other hard seltzers, I must say.
They're way better.
Spindrift. Spindrift is the best.
Well, Spindrift doesn't make their hard ciders anymore, or their hard bubble waters.
Did they stop making hard seltzers?
Yeah, because I don't know if it was there wasn't as much money or people were getting them mixed up. It was a weird brand thing or something, but they were really good. I'm sad that they stopped making them.
She said if Zane had a prop stump hand, that would have been very
That would have been pretty great, actually. A really bad one, or just get a hook like Buster had.
Yeah, or just a long sleeve with nothing sticking out of it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm drinking
or a little hand.
Cold Smoke Kettle House in the drink and be free glass.
Nice.
And y'all, last week I had searched for a good 250th video that wasn't nails on a chalkboard to libertarians. And I found one after the fact. So we're going to watch it real quick. I'm really upset that I didn't find it at the time, but this is by far.
We did find one during the fact, in case you forgot.
We did less like that, though. It's not exactly the same thing. But we're going to watch this real quick.
This is very Mad Max.
My part, a date which will live in infamy. That the only thing we have to fear is...
Ooh, that's FDR.
Fear itself.
that up, man. Hey, look at that all out.
Is this real?
Yeah.
I always love to see the helicopter.
I could not hear that at all.
I mean, epic. Like, by far.
That was for coffee?
Yeah, Black Rifle Coffee Company, man.
I had their
The fact that was like real, it is an awesome video.
Right? Yeah. No, they actually filmed it out in the desert. I know a couple of those guys that work at that company.
If only their coffee was actually coffee, you know.
Huh? What are you
Their
talking
coffee sucks.
Actually, I don't know what you had, but their coffee is phenomenal.
Well, whatever I had was terrible.
So. You didn't have the right stuff, because I would say it's up there with some of the best coffee I've had.
It's up there with like Maxwell House and Folgers and some of the best coffee in America, you know.
No, what is funny is there's so Black Rifle Coffee Company, great stuff. I don't know what you had, but it clearly wasn't their good stuff.
Must
but
there's
also, don't speak bad of friend of the podcast, Joel Owsley Cheek.
What? Who?
No idea who that is.
The founder of Maxwell House.
Did you just know that, or are you Googling that?
No, it was it was in Libations trivia from a few months ago.
Oh, for the love of God.
Cheddar Cheese says, "Don't you talk shit about Folgers." Yeah, that's
fine. I knew that was gonna. I mean, just like 7 billion people drink Folgers, so it's gonna offend somebody.
Best coffee I've ever had is from a company called Black Coffee Company, up here in Missoula, Montana. Absolutely unbelievable. The customer service is absolute crap.
That's how you know it's good
and rude and not enjoyable to be around. But their coffee is incredible, and I'm going to go there on Saturday.
Nice.
All right, y'all. I hope everybody's 250th year celebration was awesome. I was filming a rodeo, sweating my face off. After which, my wife and I were craving hot dogs, so we went to drove into
gay bar.
Found some hot dogs. Five Guys.
Glizzies.
Have y'all had Five Guys hot dogs? It was the only thing that was open.
Is that where they split them and grill them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm sure they're good, but I'm not going to eat a $25 hot dog.
Yeah, that's the thing. I haven't been to Five Guys in 15 years because like they're too expensive. But
well, the hot dog is like $6.
If you're drunk, it's great though. You know,
it was so good. I like thoroughly enjoyed it. Highly recommend if you're in.
Did you get 17 pounds of fries with it?
Yes, we ordered a large fry, and
they give you like 5 potatoes worth of fries. Like it's ridiculous.
As they should. If they fried everything in beef tallow or avocado oil or something, that would be my go-to place.
But then they could never afford to give
people that many
fries.
I only knew of one place that ever did more fries than them, and that place was bomb for drunk when I was in college. They would literally they would like take one of the boats, and they would take the entire basket of fries and just dump the entire basket onto the boat on a tray.
I love that. You gotta eat through the fries to get to what you ordered. That's awesome. Yeah.
All right. This is a question.
It was wild.
What's the best hot dog topping?
Don't let Jake answer this.
Heinz ketchup.
No, my God, you guys are awful.
It's definitely not
my answer.
Ketchup.
No.
Have you guys ever seen like the combo ketchup, mustard, and relish, but it's all in the same bottle?
Is that sounds like something from the fucking 90s when they were doing the like peanut butter and jelly together bullshit or whatever. Like,
or the purple ketchup shit.
Yeah, that's terrible. Get out of here with that. No, I've not seen that, but I don't. That would make me angry.
I like a good chili cheese, but if you're just talking single topping, Heinz
elaborate,
ketchup.
Yeah, then that's good. But mustard is the way to go for if you had to pick one, man.
I mean, yeah, if you had to pick one, I don't know.
Mustard,
spicy ketchup, some like spicy ketchup.
Spicy mustard. I do like a spicy ketchup better than.
I love a spicy ketchup. I just something besides just dumb old Heinz ketchup.
I mean, when I was with you up at the mountain, I was like, hey, I forget how it went down, but you only brought the ketchup from my cooler and you didn't bring the mustard, so we only had ketchup dogs, and I was secretly very mad.
Hey, as long as it's secret,
No.
I don't care.
I'll eat a hot dog with anything naked. I don't care. Put dog food on it. I'll eat it, but
I would eat a hot dog naked too. But
yeah. Oh, I've probably
I
have.
need
Yeah.
toppings on the hot dog though.
Now I just want to see Alden on. Now I want to see Alden on stream eat a hot dog with dog food on it.
Hang on, we're gonna go to a comedy bit real quick.
In the store, I saw that peanut butter and jelly in the same jar stuff. What in the hell is that? Is there a point to that? I mean, I'm lazy, but you know, I want to meet the guy that needs that. You know, some guy going, you know, I could go for a sandwich, but I'm not gonna open 2 jars.
Exactly.
I can't be opening and closing all kinds of jars, cleaning who knows how many knives.
That's what that
good.
reminds me of. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. 2 jars. Yeah, and then you can't control the ratio. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your ideal ratio of peanut butter to jelly?
No, it depends on mood for me. So there are times when I want 90% peanut butter with just a little bit of jelly. And there are times when I want 99% jelly with like a sliver of peanut butter.
I've never heard of 99% jelly, but that's...
I basically just wanted toast with jelly on it.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, yeah. That's funny. I tend to lean a little heavy peanut butter, but...
Okay. That's fair. I mean,
I get how good the jam is, though, you know.
Yeah, that's true, too. All right, y'all. Let's get into our
first.
Just
a little bit of jelly on top is the...
Okay. Yeah. Let's get into our first topic of the evening, which is Sonic Boom. Hang on. Let me pull it up. I'm having a rough night clicking these buttons, y'all. This is ridiculous. There you go. This is from NASA. Trying to make it cool. Not NASA. White House.
So they went with 90s house music to make it cool.
I want to hard to just pass.
I remember when the Navy or whatever used like Godsmack in their shit like back in 20 years ago or whatever, and now it's whatever that is. Like,
all right. Well, the White House announced the future of flight is taking off. SecDuffy just announced huge news in bringing supersonic flights back to America's skies. The golden age of travel is here. The golden age of travel can only come back if, one, I get a seat where I don't touch shoulders with somebody else, and two, I can afford that seat.
Yeah. Yeah. That was my point.
Those are the two qualifications to make the golden age of travel come back, because getting somewhere faster doesn't make it necessarily better.
I'd rather
it makes it be bad for less time, at least.
If it's gonna be bad, then I want it fast.
Like if you're gonna be having to touch other people's shoulders and sit in a real small seat and all that, would you rather have to do that for 6 hours or 3 hours?
Yeah. If it's gonna be lame, then we don't need foreplay. Let's just get to the point. Like, if I'm sitting weird, by the way, it's because my cat refuses to leave this chair, and I'm like hanging off my chair. So
I don't know if you know this, but you can actually move cats.
No, not this one.
One of yours did take a swing at me one time.
Yeah, that's this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. This is the post that I believe Zane maybe shared.
No.
Okay.
Some
quack shared then. Whatever. Akash Gupta, hopefully no relation to the other Gupta. Your 6-hour flight from LA to New York is about to become a 3-hour flight, and it's legal because engineers figured out how to bend sound. Since 1973, it's been a federal crime for any passenger plane to fly faster than the speed of sound, because the sonic boom that like broke windows, generated nearly 10,000 complaints, cracked plaster. Here's what changed. The speed of sound isn't constant. It shifts with air temperature, which shifts with altitude. Fly high enough and fast enough in the right conditions, and the shockwave physically bends, curving back up into the sky before it reaches the ground. The boom still happens. It just never lands. Isn't that wild? I had no idea that's what happened.
Huh.
Yeah. But yeah, I want to know, like, we don't, as libertarians, we don't really believe in the government getting involved in private enterprise. So, like, to begin with, should the government have banned supersonic flight to begin with?
Possibly.
Possibly.
And
Why?
the reason is, and like this is in the long tradition of Rothbardian property rights analysis, where you don't get to like aggress against other people's property. And the exact way that this looks is different in every case. And the ideal way that we would handle it as, private law anarchists would be that a system of private judges would be around rendering their opinions. I don't mean to get too deep into that because I know I've done so before on the show. But that's only to say there is an idea within libertarian legal theory of not just being able to do whatever you want to. It's just that we wouldn't say that the state would be the one regulating it. It would be community consensus after well-respected judges have rendered their opinion. And so we can kind of guess what that might look like, even though because we don't have the benefit of what these hypothetical judges would say, we don't know exactly how this would shake out in Kapistan, but we could hazard a guess. And what one might say is, if you're in a supersonic jet that's sending sonic booms down onto the ground, then and breaking my windows, that is aggression, because you're like you're sending a boom onto my property and it's breaking my stuff.
That's fair. I mean, it's basically just like throwing something through somebody's window.
Well, if you cause damage, if you
Yeah.
cause damage, you're liable for damage to someone's property. That's
I'm actually
Would chemtrails
okay
be
with that.
aggression?
What's that? Yes, I would qualify chemtrails, but we're not going there right now.
Yeah, of course not. Yeah.
We will.
no,
We
but
should
the
actually
same
all
with
watch
these
that
is-
documentary on
Utopia.
Amazon. We should all watch the documentary on Amazon and have a discussion about chemtrails at some point.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, Amazon freaking published a documentary on chemtrails.
Like they not just like
Yeah.
allowed someone on, but it's their funding, like
Yeah.
directly. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Wild.
That is weird.
Yeah, sorry, my internet.
I would also say that in Libertopia, there are a lot more creative ways of handling these issues than just having the heavy hand of the state come in and do whatever they feel like it.
Yeah, it's called gun.
So, like, the FAA's response to this was, well, you're just not allowed to have supersonic jets anywhere on U.S. soil.
Mhm.
And what you might have happen in a private law society would be having corridors where very few people live, and then you could fly the planes there.
Or at least
and not-
over oceans.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it was ever banned over the ocean.
Oh, okay. But then if it's banned everywhere else, then it's hard to feasibly even use the technology.
Yeah, you don't.
Just for
You
that.
only be able
that's
to
why
land-
that's why Concord.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Nick. Nick.
Well, that's
Go
why
ahead.
Concord flew London to New York and Paris to New York.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's it. I
Okay.
forget why. Why did Concord stop? We discussed that at one point on the show, but I can't remember why.
So it's a combination of mostly because of the crash. There was a big I watched an episode of Air Crash Investigators about this, where a Concorde had a bad accident where everyone on the plane died. But what happened was a little piece of metal had fallen off the previous plane that was taking off the same runway. And when the Concorde was taking off, the piece of metal hit the tire, bounced up and punctured the fuel tank. And then it caught on fire and fuel was spraying.
It's like the Ford Pinto of the sky. It's terrifying.
That, but also
So after that happened, that
was
had a lot of-
extremely expensive.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's the
that
other
is true.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
extremely
yeah,
expensive,
cheddar-
and like the capacity was small, and like it cost more than business class on a regular jet now when adjusting for inflation.
Goodness. Yeah. Yeah. Cheddar Cheese says Concorde was wildly inefficient in takeoff and landing operations. Yeah, I saw that thing take off on a video. It's a weird takeoff and landing.
What really? I don't know anything about this. Is this different than a normal just build
yeah.
a
The
speed
nose, the nose dips because you can't see past that long sleek nose.
Oh, huh.
It's wild, man.
So that
It's
was
strange.
what I would take over supersonic, like you were saying before. My internet's been all screwy. Is I would do bring back airships.
I love that.
Oh, that would be a great. I would prefer that. Honestly.
You know,
Just
something we could hang out at a bar there.
That's what I'm
walk
talking
around
about.
a little
slow, but
you know,
like
you're
enjoy
slow,
it.
you're floating.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
How quickly do airships go, though?
Have y'all seen the Archer episode on airships?
I don't think so. Actually, what season is that from?
I don't remember. It's in the.
I've only seen the first like
5 seasons.
3 or something.
Yeah, no, they don't go fast. I think on the show they were going from London to New York in 24 hours.
I would do it in
That's
12.
actually
and there's
maybe
ways to do
faster
it.
than I would have expected.
Me too. Actually,
There's ways to do it. There's ways to do it quicker. And there was one company that was doing that. They were doing like a rigid body, a rigid body version.
Either rigid body or go higher. Yeah.
I'll give you a rigid body. No, Nikola Tesla had an idea for a airship that could go the speed of sound.
Wow.
And I don't know. I trust that guy's inventions. He did a lot.
That would be interesting.
Grumpy, what's up, buddy?
What's up?
Yeah. Can you imagine a giant blimp going freaking the speed of sound?
Yeah, that would be actually really wild. Again, if it is his idea that it's higher, or is there some like a mechanical component of it that would like jet air through it and out the back, kind of like a.
I think it was a combo. I think it had to be higher and do that
because you need less density probably, but then it needs a place. If you're displacing the air, it makes sense that it would go through, not just around or whatever. But anyway.
The only requirement I would make for airships is they do it with hydrogen, for sure. Again,
hydrogen as opposed to helium.
Well, helium's ridiculously expensive to get right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Why? Too many people sucking it down?
I don't know,
because it's so hard. It's so hard to produce, and then
helium is hard to produce.
Yes,
you can get it at a party store,
but like
but when you're talking about the volumes you need to lift, there's a global shortage in helium, and the war in Iran caused damage to one of the suppliers.
The war in Iran is ruining birthday parties everywhere.
Dude, that's wild. I had no idea. Who reports on that? How do you even know?
I didn't hear about this. Yeah.
Well, helium's used in like cooling stuff. I think it's used in like cooling MRIs and stuff like that. And it's just like an actual like global shortage, of real issue that you can't get
helium, right? If they're doing cooling with it, like
yeah, helium's helium, but yeah.
Well, they've introduced some of the planes that they're going to use for the supersonic travel. I forget what they are. I didn't.
Is this just going high enough that it's like the density is different? So it's almost like happening, like if you were to like yell over water, that treats it as like a barrier, basically.
Yeah,
it carries on the water. Because if you just go high enough, it'll just do that on its own. They're almost acting like they're like, we invented some new thing, and it's like, yeah, we just went higher, like.
No, I think there is some way that they're kind of deflecting it to reduce the sonic boom.
No, they are going higher too. I think they're doing both. This post said the last time you could fly supersonic, a Concorde ticket. Y'all want to get? Okay, guess the price of
from where to where, like
round trip from New York to London.
What year is this? Would this have been in, or are we guessing an inflation-adjusted figure?
Not inflation-adjusted figures. 1972-ish.
$38.
I think it's like 1,200.
Zane?
That's a big difference. Holy crap. I was like, I don't know, $40, $50.
In $1972, I'll say $1,000.
Is it really that much?
$12,000.
Oh,
Oh my god, I thought this was going to be like it was so cheap thing or whatever. See, I know nothing about like Concorde flights or whatever.
That's why Concorde failed.
Yeah, I thought it would have been way more approachable. Like, who was doing this?
Yeah.
In 1972 money, that's like $30,000 today.
I thought this was going to be like a guess how low it is, not guess how high it is thing. So I did so absurdly low. That's so funny.
The only people who were buying it were people trying to get across the ocean in 3 hours and could afford that.
I guess so, but now everyone that can afford that has their own jet. So who needs it? Like,
this is why I take a freighter across the ocean for $50.
But I mean, you can take.
Oh, that's right, you have done that.
You can take business class for what across the ocean for what maybe $2,000 round trip.
I was so distracted by what Nick looked like without glasses, I didn't hear what he said. I've never seen Nick without glasses. It was like a different person.
Yeah, that is very.
I used to wear contacts, and then I overwore them, and I started having blood vessel growth in my eyes, and they're like, "Yeah, you got to stop wearing contacts."
Jeez,
that's a good reason to stop anything. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So,
all right. Well, consensus, I guess. Do you think this is going to increase people traveling? Is this going to be the golden age of travel? Alden, let's start with you, buddy. Like, what?
I mean, I need to see the numbers. I need to see how much this is going to cost. Because if this is $1,200, they can go suck their own balls. I don't know. Like, I can't afford it. I'm not going anywhere anyway, so this doesn't pertain to me. I'm here in Ringgold, Georgia. I'm just chilling. I'm not going to Paris. Like, whatever. Like,
I'm not sure what the demand for this would be. Like, it would be specific people wanting to fly from New York to LA in 3 hours. Like, I don't need
like if I'm the 2 times in my life I need to travel more than 3 hours by a plane or something, or 6 hours, but I'll just do it. I don't care. Like, this doesn't pertain to me. I'm not paying extra to get there faster.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to burn through a lot more fuel, so there's the tickets are going to be higher than normal.
So the fuel thing, I don't know how this works, but if in theory, if you get high enough, you actually will burn less fuel because there's less air resistance. So I don't know the math,
but the amount of
getting to
the amount of power. Well, there's that, but also the math of fuel consumption at those higher speeds.
See, and then there's that. It depends on how fast you're going, but like it could equal out kind of a thing, or closer to it. Like if you were to go really high and like have like very little, but I don't know how high they're going. I don't know if they're like in,
I don't either.
Orbit going over to
they can't be going much higher than like 50,000, 60,000.
I thought it was 50,000 feet is what.
Oh, well, that's not dramatically different.
Then you're gonna really start worrying about like pressurization if lots of pressurization happens.
Yeah. So
that's true.
Gnome says Jet Zero is going to be the future of commercial aviation, and I brought up their website. It's pretty sick. So that's what their website is.
Yes.
Everyone travels by stealth bomber.
I am a huge fan of whatever this thing is.
Now, the only thing I'll say is there's 2 options. They're either going to lay it out so that it's basically like a flying airship and you're having a good time, or they're going to cattle car the fuck out of you.
I want the leisurely travel.
Do you even get a window in that?
That's a window.
Look, there's your window.
It looks like a screen.
It's a screen.
There's a screen and a window. It's the same thing.
It's an enhanced window.
It's better.
I'm not sure why the plane is attached to a pickup truck right here.
It's actually a pickup truck on the ground that's towing it like a kite. It's not even
a plane
powered.
for ants. Is that a plane for ants?
It takes 30 hours to get from one 60 hour drive. And
a fleet of F-250s, and you get there next week.
Traffic, you're just hovering in the
air. You just spiral in a circle.
You drive the truck onto a ferry, and then the ferry hauls the truck across the ocean, and
utilizing all
attached to that.
Yeah, and that ferry's on a train. Yeah.
Let's see. So design, build, test. They've designed, built, and tested their Pathfinder, which is the smallest one. It's
you mean
scaled.
like the Nissan?
It kind of
name's taken. You can't have the Nissan of the sky.
I think you can. I think that's its slogan. Actually,
is the next one the Xterra?
The next one's the Demonstrator, and it's been designed and built, not tested yet.
No, it doesn't look fully built.
Okay, it's being built, whatever it is. Commercial has been designed.
Is Nick talking about that it's not to the next
Yeah,
line
yes.
of
It's
like?
not quite here yet. It's here.
Oh my god!
On a related topic, have you all ever considered the fact that we call a building even after it's been fully built?
A builded.
A built.
We really should call them built.
No,
I think
it's
that deserves a
builded.
ban. Zane should be banned for his bad joke.
I kind of agree with that. If I wasn't clicking over here, I would be clicking remove from studio right now. Okay, we don't need to see their team. Any news? I want to see this thing in flight. Show me a video.
Show me the tests.
Yeah,
that they
show me a
apparently indicated they have.
like that United and Alaska both invested in this. Two crap airlines investing in this thing really makes me think they're going the cattle car method.
Yeah.
It said 200 seats, 250 seats.
150 seats. Yeah,
That doesn't
cattle car.
sound like much. No, that doesn't sound like much at all on a plane that size.
I don't know the size.
How big
of
is
it.
that plane? That
Yeah.
plane doesn't look big.
I mean, look at the
Here's
at
all the
standard-
windows. Alden's right. Where are the windows? in
That's
this?
what I'm
A se-
saying. I see a
a
little
seven-
row.
A 737 is fitting what 150 people, and
And
that's
you're
like
in a cattle car.
that's like 4 to 5 times as wide for
They
less
should
than
have people
double.
in the wings.
The fuel's in the wings, isn't it?
Generally,
I have no idea. Is it really?
Generally speaking,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
there's usually a fuel tank in the bottom and then off in the wings, and they can
It's here, it's
transfer
like
between tanks.
Greensboro, North Carolina, for first U.S. factory. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'll be very interested to see if that happens. Oh, Noam also says the future is virtual windows. Kill me. Just kill me now.
What movie was
That's
that?
straight out of a Black Mirror episode.
I was gonna say it was like a vampire movie that like they drive around during the day and they use like a camera as like to see through the windshield. Dawnbreaker or some fucking name like that. Anyway, whatever. It'll be like vampire windows.
Windows.
What is
Oh,
that movie?
no.
I always thought-
Well, we've lost trivia tonight now.
Uh-oh.
Was that Hannah? Is that Hannah?
Hannah just showed up.
Yeah.
For the first time in forever.
Yeah. So, Zane, I'll give you the last word on whether or not supersonic travel is a good thing and will be implemented.
Well, I mean, I assume that we prefer getting places faster as opposed to slower. So the devil is in the details.
Disagree.
We just talked about airships taking forever and we liking it. So
Well, yeah, but that's because you're
We
also
like-
we liking it. Yeah.
you're also
Likey.
We can learn English on there because it'll take so long.
you're also saying that you like them because the experience of being on them would be better. Yeah, I mean, riddle me this. If your experience of flying took as long as an airship does, but it was the same as it is now, you probably wouldn't like that very much.
But they weren't. So that's the whole thing, is that the airships that were set up was like there was like a bar and walking room, and because the whole thing was that it was didn't need to be as aerodynamic and narrow, and so the whole component of it, it's apples to
You had
Well,
cabins.
yeah, but
you
that's
could-
that's my entire point. We don't have enough information about how flying on these things will actually be like. If it's good, then it'll be good. But if it's bad, then it will be bad.
Yeah, it's like the proof is in the
Great
eating.
analysis from Zane.
Yeah,
Good things
exactly.
are good, bad things are bad.
Coming to Zane for opinions on things that aren't economics or religion related is
Or if
really-
it's anything
That was
speculative.
a top shelf opinion. I don't know
That
what
was
there
an
is not to talk
absolute
about.
crap opinion that no
Yes.
one would care about.
that opinion was pretty mid. Yeah,
All right. Well, you're gonna have plenty of opinions.
You
on
only
this.
get analysis like that on this show.
that was
Goodness
analysis.
gracious.
That was different.
All right. Topic number 2: Catholic schism. I don't know much about the Catholic faith, but the Vatican declares Society of Saint Pius X in schism, excommunicates bishops. So this.
I know nothing about what that means except for Schism's a good Tool song. That's all I know.
The Vatican responded aggressively Thursday to a traditionalist society that consecrated bishops without the Pope's consent, declaring the Society of St. Pius X in schism. It just really feels like there should be a "the" in there. Excommunicating its bishops and priests and warning its faithful, they too face the harshest of sanctions in the Catholic Church. Zane, do you know anything about this? I believe Stephen put this in the comment in the Discord. Do you know anything about this?
I have been hearing some about this. So for a bit of backstory, in the 1960s, the Roman Catholic Church had one of their big councils that they have every so often. The Roman Catholics like to get all their bishops together every so often to have a big council and sort a bunch of stuff out. And they did this in the 1960s in a council called Vatican II.
Just the bishops, no knights, rooks, pawns.
Only the bishops.
Okay.
Vatican II sounds like the stupidest sequel I've ever.
Vatican II, Return of the Vatican. Yeah.
There was a Vatican I. I think Vatican I happened in the 1870s, but that's not really important for this discussion.
It was a silent film.
Of course, they probably didn't call it Vatican I at the time.
It was just Vatican.
It's kind of like how you didn't call it World War I until after World War II was over. And
I disagree.
Disagree about what?
They called World War I before.
So they knew there was going to be another one? That's pessimistic, but accurate. Yeah.
They didn't. They called it.
Okay, anyway. Vatican II. So it was the 1960s. There was a lot of liberalism in the air. And there was what some people considered modernizing, liberalizing influence that was over the decisions that Vatican II came to. And one of the big things that they changed was the usual way that they do the Mass. So for hundreds of years before Vatican II, most Catholic churches were having a Mass where most of it was being said in Latin.
Mm-hmm.
And they changed it so that the Mass would be held in the vernacular language. So, like, for example, if you were doing it in English in the United States, then you would be doing it in English. But they also changed what?
What year was this that they decided to do this? Because I feel like no one was speaking Latin then. That's crazy.
Oh, the 60s and 1960s.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So this wasn't because they thought that people understood Latin. It was because people kind of knew what the words meant because they had been taught what the words meant. And Latin by the Roman Catholics is considered, or at least was considered, like, this is the language that you use when you're saying the Mass. And all the people in the pews really need to do is kind of sit there while the priest is saying it. And hopefully they have a rough idea of what's being said. And I can get into why I think it's actually a good idea to have the service said in the vernacular language instead of in Latin.
I don't think we need to get. I think that's very apparent, so that people can freaking understand it.
Well, it's apparent to you because you're an American evangelical, and that's the culture that you were.
You just learn Latin.
Raised in.
That would be apparent to everybody except traditional Catholics.
Well, in a modern context, yes, but we can get into that later after I'm done expositing the situation.
Okay. Keep going.
I think of this as depositing, but
but they changed a bunch of other things too. I don't think they would officially admit to changing any of their doctrines, but they kind of changed the way that the doctrines are presented to make them kind of more compromising with more modern, liberal, Western kind of understandings of various items. And I'm not an expert in the theology of Vatican II, but there were a lot of people at the time that was like, these reforms that have been brought about by Vatican II are like teetering on heresy. And I saw Zach said in the comments, not only did they make it so that the Latin Mass wasn't the normal thing that you could do, but they made it so that you could only do Latin Mass if you had the approval of your bishop, and very, very few bishops were giving the approval.
And it's a little bit more complex than just that, but
an acquaintance of mine who explained to me that it wasn't just that they changed the Mass from being said in Latin to being said in English, they changed the meaning. So the English Mass that is done today, the Novus Ordo, is different than what you would get if you just translated the traditional Latin Mass into English. And the changes that they made to the content also were not well received by some traditional Roman Catholics. And so
keep in mind, Zane, they'll also do the Novus Ordo in Latin. The Pope Leo did it not long after being elected as Pope.
Yeah, so I mean, as with everything, there's an infinite number of asterisks and clarifications that you could add to anything that I'm saying. So I acknowledge that that's the case.
But they still do exorcisms in Latin, right?
I don't know.
I think so.
Sometimes, yeah.
I have a friend who has an exorcism podcast.
Really?
And
That's
it's one of the
pretty
biggest
niche. That's
podcasts
cool.
in the world.
It's one of the what?
Biggest podcasts in the world.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's wild.
Do they just cover like real world exorcisms or theory of it, or do they perform them, or like what? I've never even heard of this for it being so big.
They have on priests and they talk about exorcism. It's
like
wild.
Ones that those priests have either been there for or done, or weird.
Yep.
Okay, interesting.
Bananas. Sorry, Zane, keep going, buddy.
Fun fact: when I moved into my condo and had my priest over to do the house blessing, technically that also did contain an exorcism, but you wouldn't really notice unless you had it pointed out to you.
Like that part of the process is to oust what was there before or whatever, or
yeah, essentially.
Okay.
Why'd you buy a whorehouse to begin with, Zane? That's cool.
out, brothel demon soul.
But anyway, there was a guy. I think he was a bishop who really was not a fan of the result of Vatican II. And in the 1970s, he started his own seminary to train priests.
Okay.
That's what it's
eventually
called?
Seminary.
That's too close to in seminary. That's weird.
It's close to.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Anyway, he started a seminary, and then he started ordaining priests, which the Roman Catholic Church really didn't like, because you're only supposed to do that if you have their approval, and he didn't have it. But his position was Vatican II has essentially caused the modern Roman Catholic Church to schism from itself. And the Society of St. Pius X, which is what this guy founded, is like the true Roman Catholic doctrine that's much more in line with what the Roman Catholic Church has always historically taught.
Interesting.
And so he recognized that like the Pope was still the Pope, and the organizational structure of the Roman Catholic Church was like still legitimately there. There are some other splinter Catholic groups that will say that the papacy has modern popes aren't even legitimately the Pope because of certain things that they've done or taught.
It's like a Society of St. Pius V or something that's like a
there
split off of that.
What's up with all these St. Pius people? They seem like troublemakers. I love them.
Or there's like a split off of the Society of St. Pius X that actually is like completely vacantist.
Yeah, so there are all these other groups that are sede vacantists, which is Latin for empty seat, which means that the seat of the Pope is empty. The current Pope is not legitimately the Pope. And that's not what the Society of St. Pius X says. But they have said that they're a truer representation of the Roman Catholic Church than the rest of the Roman Catholic Church is. And they also would say, due to some canon law legalities that they have developed, that despite the fact that Rome says that they've been excommunicated at various points and says that they've had their authority to say mass and do all the church stuff taken away from them, they would say actually the Roman Catholic Church has never actually taken away our authority, so we are still validly a part of the Roman Catholic Church, and we're just a better part of it, a more faithful part of it than the rest of them.
So
obviously, this is not the position that Rome currently takes. And to catch us up to where we currently are, like why this is in the news again with these guys being excommunicated. So in order to continue your like line of churches, you have to have priests, obviously, because you need people to be preaching to your congregation. And the way that you can ordain priests in Roman Catholicism, but also in various classical Protestant denominations too, is they have to be ordained by bishops. So it's very important that you have bishops so that you can continue to ordain priests. And so the founder of the SSPX was a bishop, so he could ordain priests, but then he was getting kind of old. And he was
like 35.
So he ordained other people to be bishops. And at the time that this happened in the 80s, everyone involved got excommunicated, but then they kind of made up, and Rome said that you aren't excommunicated anymore. But now the bishops that they ordained when they were doing that, which I think was in the 80s or 90s, now they're also pretty old too. And so they need more bishops again. And on July 1st, the only two bishops that the SSPX had went ahead and ordained 4 more bishops. And you're definitely not allowed to ordain bishops without the Pope's approval. And so the Vatican did not like that and said, everyone who was involved in this, you're now excommunicated again.
Re-excommunicated.
Well,
interesting.
So, as the baptized and confirmed Catholic in the room, who's not really, he hasn't really been practicing. I know, a little bit on this and then kind of watching it and looking into things. Yeah, so like Zane said, there's I believe it was the 80s there. There was the initial excommunication. I believe that got lifted under Benedict, Pope Benedict. And then he but like St. Pius X was never fully like reintegrated. They had this irregular canonical status, and that's what they've been kind of under. And under Francis, he actually said, "You what?
We need charts for this. I need like to visually see."
Under Pope Francis, they were
whiskey for this.
They were told that the sacraments they administered were valid, so they were like kind of on the edge. But yeah, what it seems like was going on here is, it seems like the church's position is we're going to solve the SSPX issue by just waiting for the bishops to die out, and then nothing, and then they'll go away. And they weren't going to take that. Consecrated 4 new bishops. Yeah.
Incinerated.
So what do you think the Pope is going to think about GTA 6?
I mean, he grew up in Chicago, so that's kind of just like a role-playing simulator of his life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so SSPX?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Society of
St. Pius X.
I couldn't remember what the at first S was.
But yeah, there's a lot of I've never been to a Latin Mass, but there's a lot of restrictions on it, and I've seen a lot, and it's odd, and I can see why people get upset with it, because I feel sympathetic to that side of things. But you've got
for all those Latin speakers out there, they're just really getting.
You have priests out there doing Pride Month masses and rainbow attire, and
so that's
all this other stuff.
Latin's not.
Well, it's not technically allowed, and it's against church teaching. Or you have priests that are like, well, abortion could be okay, and this and that, and nothing's really done. It doesn't seem to rein it in. And then these guys are like, hey, we want to do the traditional thing. And there's other groups that do the traditional Latin Mass, but even those guys come under scrutiny, right? I think one group was told, well, you also have to do the Novus Ordo, and they're like, no, that's not what we do. Everyone else does that. And they were told, well, then you can't operate here.
See, this is why I don't go to church, because there's just someone telling someone what to do all the time, and I get enough of that in my life.
And then even like I've looked into it just to see, well, where are Latin masses in my area? The closest one to me is probably about 25 minutes away, and it's at 3 p.m. on a Sunday. So they don't even put it at like convenient times, whenever.
Yeah, there's a ball game on at that time. That's ridiculous,
Yeah. Alden, I have an interesting video to send you later.
Okay.
About literally what you just said. It made me
like my reason for not going to church.
Yeah. It made me rethink like how I approach church and Christianity in general.
I've read some books on the subject. Like I've read what's his name? What's the Rob something guy that wrote like the book on like yeah, that'd be something. No, the guy that wrote the Love Book and Velvet Elvis or whatever. And
I can't remember.
But anyway, I'm interested in it, and I like or was it Velvet Elvis? Maybe I'm mixing it up. It's Velvet something. I'll find it later. Yeah. But I've like read about it, and I'm like interested in certain people's like interpretations of things and whatever. But the concept of like going like to church, I'm just like every time I've been, I feel so weird there. Like it's just not my scene.
Interesting.
I can't get into it.
I definitely feel that way with some churches that I've been to. There was one that my brother and best friend Sam dragged me to in Dallas, and at one point they both just looked at me, and then the pastor said, "All right, everybody, it's time to meet and greet," or whatever it was. Everybody just started kissing each other on the cheek and stuff. Oh, I know why you brought me here, to make me squirm while random strangers freaking push their face onto my face.
That's awful. No, thank you.
Never went back there again. That was torture.
Is that sanctioned? That feels weird. Latin's not okay, but this is okay?
It wasn't Catholic. It was
fair.
Anglican.
Oh, so it's one of our guys then. Okay,
yeah, it was one of your stinking guys.
I will say there actually is one of the epistles that says to greet each other with a holy kiss, but that's not
epistles.
What?
Yeah,
it's not apostles. It's epistles.
Apostles are people. Epistles are
letters. Yeah.
Epistle is something you carry on you when you go to public.
That's a pistol.
A pistol. I got my pistol.
I would love for Alden to make some kind of parody on epistles.
It's either that or the thing that P comes out of, and that's a whole different thing. A pistol. I went with the gun one first because I thought that was better. But
Alden, keep drinking tonight, man. Great stuff.
So anyway, I'll try to keep this short because I know that this could come off as extremely nerdy.
Yes,
but if I am
the last hour wasn't, but this would be,
Well, yes.
I really need to figure out how to show a timer on this screen so that I can make sure people don't overtalk.
Nerdy rant timer. It's just like a count. Like, give us a countdown so that we can end. Actually,
I do understand, Alden, how from the outside this comes off as like really off-putting and arcane, and like why do people care about this so much? This just seems like another bureaucracy. Like all the rest of the bureaucracies that I hate.
That's about right.
And I think you particularly get this from just the way that the Roman Catholic Church is. Because the defining doctrine of why the Roman Church says everyone has to submit to us is because they think that like Christ established the office of the Pope while he was on Earth, and the function of that office is to lead the church as his representative. So theologically, if you believe that, it actually is very important what the Pope and the rest of the church structure is telling you to do. Because unlike the state, and we know from various good analyses of democracy, that democracy is a system that promotes the worst people into power, the people who are least likely to tell you to do things that are good for you, and who you'd be least likely to voluntarily submit yourself to. all Christians would say that the church, in some sense, is guided by the Holy Spirit in all truths. So if you are a Christian, that means that you think that submitting yourself to some kind of church authority is beneficial to your soul and like helps you lead a truly human and good flourishing life.
But I just know how systems work, and I know how government works, and I know how people work, and I don't trust that, like, in the sense that, like, if, and I'm not saying,
so Alden,
I'm not making any declarative statements about God or whatever, like the belief system is just the church structure that I don't trust.
Alden, I'm more on your, like, I don't like massive churches, and I definitely like am never going to join the Catholic Church. Like I much prefer just a home church that people gather at to hear a sermon and worship. Like I agree with you. Like these massive organizations can be co-opted, manipulated. The messages can be diluted. People aren't in, like, you can't reach out and talk to the Pope like you can your pastor. Mm-hmm. You know, like, I don't know. I personally find way more negatives in these massive church structures and organizations.
It's kind of the same with almost anything. When something gets big, it gets gross. Like,
yeah.
I wasn't quite done because I do actually want to expand, Jake, on what you were just saying, which is that I don't have exactly the same view as you. I'm kind of in between what you said and what the Roman Catholic Church says, because if I can just look up a Bible verse real quick.
While you're doing that, I found the name of the guy I was talking about, Rob Bell, and it was called Velvet Elvis. The book.
Nice. Nice.
So it hinges on Matthew 16:18, where Peter, the Apostle Peter, declares to Christ that he's the Son of God, and then Jesus responds to him, I tell you, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church. And the Romans have always understood this to mean that's Jesus establishing the office of the Pope over the rest of the whole church. As an Anglican, that's not what I would say. I would say that this is Jesus commissioning Peter as the head of the apostles, and then the 12 apostles.
Wait. Peter was an apostle, not an epistle? Because if Peter was an epistle, that's terrible. You know what I mean?
So 1st and 2nd Peter are epistles because they were letters written by Peter.
Well,
but Peter himself was an apostle.
Oh, okay. No, it's okay.
But so the Anglican view and the classical Protestant view is, or at least some classical Protestants would say this, is some version of you either need to the level of the organization should be the bishop, or it should just be a network of local priests or pastors or whatever you call them. So like Anglicans, we do have a bishop, but like the bishop is the highest level of authority that a single person can have. And then bishops can come together in councils, and there can be organizations that tie churches together. And it's like a combination of a lot of different bishops. But the single highest position that any person can get is the office of bishop. There's no Anglican pope. We don't say this one particular person is actually over top of all the bishops. We would say that really the authority, the highest authority on earth that you can have is when like a council of bishops all get together and say the same thing. Like we would not recognize any office of
actually it's someone in the street that says they're Jesus, it's the highest authority. They are Jesus,
setting that aside, right? So it's, I would say it's good to have bishops, or at least it's good to have a network of priests that are all kind of accountable to one another, because you do get some level of organizational accountability where you can't just have rogue pastors that decide they're going to start preaching heresy because they feel like it. But you don't have a massive organization that can all, like, I would say that the Roman Catholics have done things that have been in error. And that's why you don't want to force everyone to be subject to the same human institution, because it might err. A Roman Catholic would say, we are divinely protected from error in certain circumstances, and Vatican II was one of them.
That smells like bullshit to me. We're divinely protected from error is like one of the stupidest, most obvious, like, no, whatever we do is fine because we're protected. That's some government bullshit. That's like, I don't know, man. I can't get down with that.
I mean, I'm not Roman, so I'm not going to sit here and defend it, but I will tell you that that's what they would say. And I also don't like just calling them Catholic without saying Roman Catholic, because the word Catholic actually means according to the whole. And so I get kind of defensive.
What?
It means according to the whole, meaning that if you're a Catholic, it means you believe what Christians have believed in all places at all times. And so I would say that what it means to be Catholic is you ascribe to the same doctrines that Christians have always held.
I'm going to send you a video to...
Roman's not describing the whole structure as Roman Catholic is inaccurate as well, though. Because there's 24 churches that make up the Catholic Church. Okay, and only one of them is Roman.
Gracious.
No one cares. There actually when I lived in my apartment, there was a Maronite Catholic church down the street from me.
So I know which one you're talking about.
I have no idea what y'all are talking about.
I'm sending Zane a link to a video called what was it? According to the Whole, or what's the name of this?
They should not have done that. They should not have named it that.
No.
Is that literally what it means?
It's WHOL.
I know, but when you say it out loud, it's atrocious.
Well, I can't get something out of
I
it.
would actually say that the phrase Roman Catholic is a contradiction, because Catholic means the whole, and Roman is a subset of that. And
it's Roman the phallus, you know.
My opinion on the SSPX is that
the Roman column and the whole, and then when, you know.
I don't think that they can validly claim to be Roman Catholic anymore, because the whole deal with that is submission to the Pope.
The whole deal.
So if you're not gonna submit to the Pope, then I don't think that you get to call yourself Roman Catholic. However, I think that they can validly claim to be Catholic in the same way that I can validly claim to be Catholic, because we both believe the essential doctrines of the Christian faith. And so if they just want to be the SSPX outside of the Roman Catholic Church, I, as an Anglican, don't find anything objectionable in that.
All right. Well, that's about all the Catholic talk I can take tonight. So we're going to move on.
Is this Catholic trivia?
No.
Does the intro work for anyone else, or is that...
Does what work?
The intro. It said it didn't play it. Like, it was like playing off on the side screen, but not on the main screen.
This is a you thing. Your internet's been terrible today.
Yeah, I felt that, but like, there's like a little preview screen off on my left and the main screen on my right.
That's only to me.
So, okay. Yeah. So I didn't play that. Okay. Yeah. Something's way the hell off and I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. It's because you're Catholic.
The mobile view is only an extreme close-up of my face, and not even my whole face.
I see that, which is...
That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
It's fixed.
Yeah, that's bad.
Although I cannot... Look, the mobile view is freaking bizarre. You can just hide the vertical view right now. It has some glitches, y'all.
I don't know. How do you hide it?
Oh, I can hide it. It just says hide vertical right under it.
Oh.
I
can hide it. A quote by Jake.
Gnome says, join the Church of Gnome.
I would check out the Church of Gnome, actually.
Welcome, everyone, to another week of Libations Trivia. As usual, we have trivia in 3 rounds. Round 1 is 8 questions, 1 point each. Round 2 is 6 questions, 2 points each. And round 3 is 4 questions.
Round 1, apostles. Round 2, epistles. Round 3, pistholes.
Don't tempt me with a good time. If you are in the audience, please leave a comment with your answer. and I will accept the first one that isn't obviously a joke.
Also, audience, give us your comment on the new song in the background for.
I was gonna tell you
I
that
hate
this
it.
porn music is not okay with me, and I missed the Rat Pack, whatever it is.
We are
we
not.
need Rat Pack Unity.
Unity.
No,
I almost said Rat
no.
Pack Funeral. Rat Pack Funeral. It was
Don't
like a
need
slower
Rat
version.
Pack Funeral.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you that right now.
a more macabre version.
Keep going.
All right, tonight's categories. Round 1 is Vexillology 2.
What
Damn
the
it, Zane.
fuck is that? What the fuck even is that?
Fucking flags again, Alden.
How many weird letters in that and numbers?
Round 2 is American
Vexillology?
Independence Commemoration. And round 3 is Laws of the Game.
Laws of the game.
I don't know.
Is that the
All
rapper?
right, round 1, Vexillology 2.
Not if
Will be the same as last week, except now that you're all more familiar with all the flags, there is no partial credit. You have to use
Who's
both, right?
familiar with flags? When did we do flags?
Gnome says he doesn't hear any background music.
Did we do
I
this
hear
last
plenty
week,
of
or was it not
background
here
music.
last week?
I'm going to turn it up. Gnome, let me know. if you
No,
can hear
no,
it.
no, no. This is the motion that comes to mind. It's a gyrating, undulating, fucking Sex in an Old Mall elevator song. This is terrible. Oh my god.
This doesn't sound anything like an old porno.
Well, you're
No,
listening to the wrong porn, you know.
No, this sounds like. You ever watched the new? I think it was the New Guys.
New Guys, the Will Ferrell movie.
No, that's the other guys.
The other guys. Oh,
New Guys, Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe.
oh, Nice Guys.
Nice guys,
Yeah.
Sounds like it's
That's
coming
actually a pretty good movie.
dude. That
Alright,
that movie
this
is
is boring.
freaking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Are you going to interrupt us at any point, Zane?
I just did.
Wait, okay. I still want my question answered. When the hell did we do fucking flags 1.0
Last week.
or whatever? See, I wasn't here for that. So am I excused from
No.
the whatever you just said of like no one gets any help with flags or whatever? Okay, great.
No.
Then that's fine. I'll just lose again. That's fine. I lose every week.
All right, question 1. This happened on July 1st, round of 32 game, 2-1 in Atlanta. What are the two flags?
What's all the details about July 1st for?
Because it was just
Uh,
Okay,
you-
it's telling you the name of the game.
This is a soccer match?
This is the World Cup, you nitwit.
I didn't know that. I wasn't here for the first part. I had no
Round
idea what's going on.
kickball. Kickball game, not soccer match.
Kickball. Is one of them a Catholic team? I just thought Catholic, the root words remind me of catheter and lick. Then again, I don't like.
Also, Gnome hates the music.
This is
This was a
awful
good
music.
game, if anyone watched it.
It was a great game.
This
All
is
right. Jake,
that was such a good game.
England and DR Congo.
Alden.
Switzerland and Nepal, obviously.
Nepal doesn't even have a rectangular
I
flag.
don't know what. I don't know
Nepal has
anything
the
about
only
soccer. I don't,
triangular flag on
England and Cameroon. I
I
don't know.
don't know.
It's somewhere in
I'm thinking-
Africa, though.
I'm
The audience
clearly
says
throwing
England
out-
and Cabo Verde. It is England versus Congo DR.
Yeah, so obviously.
I get all the points, right? Because it's
You do.
DR Congo.
Why was that? That's not
The
England.
Democratic Republic of the Congo.
There we go.
Question 2. 2-0, round of 32 on July 1st in San Francisco.
Alden, can you get one of the flags on this one?
Nope. Not sure. Is it Nepal?
At least
Nepal- well,
this
yes,
flag has a
Nepal.
triangle in it.
Yeah, this one does have a triangle. in it.
Jake,
USA versus Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Alden,
How does
America,
everyone know
Bosnia, and
this?
Herzegovina.
Herzegovina.
It's Nepal and the Ivory Coast.
it is the US versus Bosnia and Herzegovina. And
Yeah.
probably my favorite memory from this World Cup has got to be the Bosnian coach absolutely having a conniption on the sideline in a double-breasted suit and snatching the ball away and not giving it back.
It warranted. I gotta say that ref was atrocious. So I side with him.
Yeah, he fucked over one of the better players on America.
Yeah, he also.
Then Donald Trump made a phone call. Was like, "Yeah, you're gonna let him play," and they're like, "Yes, sir."
Yeah, that made it worse. But I think that's.
Did that really happen?
Lost. Yeah,
Oh,
Yes.
God. That's
I think it's one
embarrassing.
of the reasons we lost.
Wait, you think we lost because Balogun was playing?
I don't think it was because Balogun was
Pulisic
playing.
was being a pussy.
I think it was the psychology behind the drama, and I don't know. There's some
I think we
psychology
lost because of
we didn't
Catholicism.
play at all the way we played the previous 4 games. Something was in the air.
It's almost like it was scripted or something.
No, shut up, Alden. Stop making.
No one would agree to a ritual of self-humiliation like
Yeah.
the
No.
Not
Dude,
like that.
Alden, that thing was one of the worst games I've ever watched in my life. When they
It was
lost.
fucking pathetic.
It was awful.
Question 3. Round of 16 game on July 4th in Philadelphia, 1-0. And it's about...
Are you covering the name of the country with that little block on the second flag?
Do you have to get both to get the point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Games that end 1-0, where the one goal that was scored was on a penalty kick, is probably my least favorite result in all of soccer.
It's better than a
Like Nigate or
0-0
that-
draw.
There
Like
are
they
no
like to do.
draws in the round of.
Not
30.
in this, but in regular play there is, and that and draws are incredibly gay. Or at least
Draws-
you got to make it hard to draw. Like in the NFL, ties happen after you play another 15 minutes of overtime in the regular
But overtime
season.
rules are dumb as crap. Like overtime rules are
Oh, NFL overtime rules are terrible.
even
then, like,
college
if we
football
get-
overtime rules now are stupid.
Yeah, but like if we go to hockey, you play what 4-on-4, and then you go to shootouts.
Zane, reel us in,
That's
man.
a pretty
Right.
good one. Except
Jake,
playoffs where you
4-on-4
continue
shootout.
playing.
You know,
France versus Paraguay.
Alden,
France versus Bizarro France.
Nick,
I like that, Alden.
France and Cabo Verde. I don't know.
it is France versus Paraguay.
It's not
So
Bizarro
you
France.
covered the name of the country, and I was trying to remember which country was the flag from last week that had its name on it.
Do you guys
So you
ever do
covered it.
trivia that's not about fucking soccer? My God.
Kickball.
This movie is about
Kickball, Alden. Kickball.
This one's
It's
about
called
flag.
kickball.
So, like, if you know flags of the world, then you know this one.
I apparently don't.
Apparently, you
Alright,
don't.
question 4. Round of 16 game on July 5th in New Jersey, 2-1.
It's almost like a country's logo. You would think I would know it, actually. You know what I mean?
Well,
You
a lot
would-
of countries
I
are
actually
quite
thought you
useless.
could do well with this, Alden.
A
A lot of
you would
countries
think.
are useless, like Paraguay. There's not really anything to know about
She's saying
Paraguay.
countries. Some countries are useless.
When's the last time Paraguay has affected your life?
Oh my God, that is not the sentiment of the entire.
Actually, they affected it in a positive way when they lost to the USA in soccer.
Okay,
Oh
but
my
in your
God.
personal life, when's the last time you had anything to do with Paraguay?
I've never been.
Never been.
When's the last time you looked at it on a map?
Probably at the beginning of the World Cup.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, just to see
Alright.
where it is. But
Norway v Brazil.
Alden,
oh,
I got Brazil. That's all I got. I'm not even guessing anymore on the ones I don't
I
know.
can't even believe you do.
it is Norway versus Brazil. Holland looks like you plucked him straight out of an 1100s Viking ship.
He is a lunatic.
that dude is that
awesome.
dude's something else. I got
I'm assuming
around
he's
like-
on the Brazilian team, right? That you're talking about.
No.
No.
Exactly.
No, I
He
think
walks
we got
around.
5. Round
The size of that
16,
dude?
on July 5th in Mexico City, 3-2.
One of the best games of the tournament.
So this is a repeat, right?
Yes. So you get
the
half.
size and speed of that Holland dude. We need to put him in the NFL.
People were like, so he
I've seen
he
the
runs as
breakdowns
fast
on
as Tyreek Hill.
Yeah,
Wow.
the size and
And
speed of
he's
that dude
6'4".
is fucking absurd.
No, 6'6".
Like 6. Yeah.
Well, no wonder he
he's
runs so
fucking
fast. He takes one step and he goes 28 feet. Like,
Jake,
He's a friggin' animal. England v Mexico.
Alden.
same.
It was.
Oh my god, a point!
Question 6.
I seriously
Round of
thought England's
16
flag was
game.
different.
On July 6th in Dallas.
See,
1-0.
what the fuck are these flags? Jake's getting these not because he knows flags, but because he knows soccer. This is not a
Kickball.
flag trivia. This is a soccer trivia.
It's
all
flag
it is.
trivia if you know flags.
Okay, but do you know?
But if
all
you
the
know
flags, or do
kickball,
you know
that's your
soccer
hint.
better?
Dude, I know. I've traveled all the way around the world. I know
Actually,
a lot more
that's pretty
flags
fair.
than you
That's
think.
pretty fair. That you're a bad person to ask this, but this is a soccer-related trivia more than it is flag.
It actually
Kickball.
it gives you more of a hint if you know soccer, but it doesn't mean it's
Yes.
still flag trivia.
It's a huge hint.
All right,
This is-
Jake.
Spain and Portugal.
Alden.
This is Egypt and Nepal, obviously. Respectively.
No, it's Spain and Portugal.
No, Egypt and Nepal. I'm going to Spain at the end of the year, and I don't know that. So
That's really depressing.
it'll be the first time I'm leaving the country, and I'm not flying Concorde, apparently.
It's the first time you're ever leaving the country.
Yes, I'm poor, Nick. Leave me alone.
You never popped up to Canada.
No,
only a
they
couple
wouldn't
hours
let
away.
me. I didn't get a goddamn vaccine when I lived in Washington, and they wouldn't let me over the goddamn line. I was gonna go.
That's ridiculous.
Question 7. Round of 16 game on July 6th in Seattle, 4-1.
Just kill me.
Okay, I know this.
I doubt it.
Big sad.
Actually, you know what? I doubt it too anymore.
I bet you.
This is
get
the last time we're mentioning kickball on this show, right?
No,
Nepal's one of
I'm
those,
doing
right?
trivia next week.
Oh shit! I gotta study my kickball.
It'll be
I
more
was
soccer.
actually watching this game at me and some friends were over at one of the priest's house at my church, and he gave us all some scotch that had some very apricot notes. I
That
never
is not
had
a scotch.
scotch with apricot.
Nope, that's not a
Notes
scotch.
before.
Sounds
Nope,
like a terrible
Yes,
scotch.
it is.
nope, that's not a scotch.
It's not a
That
good
doesn't sound like scotch.
Nope, it's not a scotch.
Yeah, it was very enjoyable.
Nope. If you liked it, it's
Nope.
not a scotch.
All right.
Belgium and USA.
I've had
Oh, motherfucker!
from Jake
You said Germany, didn't you? You said
did.
Germany.
It's the other way around. It's Bizarro Germany. Oh no! Oh my
It's
god!
a combination of Germany and France because that's what Belgium is.
Oh man!
I knew you were
If
going to
you
get
feel
that.
any better,
God damn
Alden. The audience also says Germany and the U.S., but it is Belgium.
It
and
did
the
look a
US.
little weird, and I was like, I'm gonna go with my gut. My gut was very wrong.
Your gut
So
felt
Germany,
like
same
weird.
colors, just this way, right? Like,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
France is the vertical, so that's why you know it's Belgium because it's French plus Germany,
yeah, clearly.
which is
It's
super
alright.
super gay.
Question 8. Round of 16 game on July 7th in Atlanta, 3-2.
I know that one.
You should know the one on the left, Alden.
I that's the one that I know somewhere.
Yeah, you should know it.
What is that? Why do I know it? And what is it?
You don't know the one on the right at all?
Okay, when you're thinking of continents, think
No.
Antarctica.
No.
What?
All right, Jake.
I just want to give Alden a hint. Alden, think Nazis.
What?
Yeah, think
Argentina
Antarctic
and-
Nazis. Alden.
Argent-
I just Austria versus the moon.
Nick.
I'm wrong. I said Egypt and Morocco. I always forget Argentina because it's kind of a forgettable
Argentina,
country.
Nazis. Come on, y'all.
Yeah.
When you said Nazis, I should have thought, yeah. When it was just like
Argentina.
anything
versus
not
Austria,
Germany
but it
or
is
Belgium.
Argentina versus Egypt.
Yeah.
Which means at the end of round 1, we've got Jake in the lead with 8, Nick with 5, audience with 4, Alden with 1.
Yay! I got
Respectable
one.
performance on my part. I'm not upset with that.
That's okay. That'll be the last point I get in this game, so whatever.
All right. Round 2. American Independence Commemoration.
I'm effed.
Question 1. July 4th, 1776 was the day the Continental Congress approved the wording of the Declaration of Independence. It had voted in favor of independence 2 days earlier by adopting the Lee Resolution, which had been introduced by Richard Henry Lee on June 7th. Lee was a delegate to the Congress from what state? Or I suppose I should more accurately say from what colony at the time, but soon to be state.
We know what you mean, Zane.
Actually, I call
It's
for
Nepal.
a recount because that's the whole wording doesn't make any sense because you're just doesn't historically inaccurate. It's ridiculous.
Deny his appeal. His point is not well taken.
I said Pennsylvania.
Alden,
Delaware.
Nick,
I'm going with the Lee family, of which Robert E. Lee is a part, and saying Virginia.
It's Virginia.
well, that would be correct. It is Virginia.
Nick started writing so quickly that I assumed it was Pennsylvania.
I'm out of alcohol.
I was just like, okay, names Lee, famous historical, Robert E. Lee, big house in Virginia,
I really should have thought about
Arlington.
that.
Arlington National Cemetery. I'm like, that's
I thought about Robert E. Lee, and I don't know where he fucking lived, so it didn't help.
Arlington National Cemetery.
I don't care.
Question 2. What 2 former presidents both died on July 4th, 1826, the 50th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence?
I actually think
Is
I
it
know.
Trump?
Yeah, George Washington Trump.
Yeah.
This is full name.
Jake,
I think it's Jefferson and Adams.
Alden.
I'm pretty sure it's Biden and Trump.
Well, it is John Adams and Thomas Jefferson.
You're
Nope.
darn right, because they hated each other, right?
They were
made
like
up of their lives.
frenemies.
Yeah. They hated each
They
other.
were like frenemies.
They hated each other.
They were gay
Question
lovers.
3. July 4th, 1863 was a turning point against the Confederacy in the American Civil War. Name either the Mississippi city that surrendered to the Union on this day after a long siege, or the location of the disastrous Pickett's Charge from the day before that resulted in almost 9,000 men killed, wounded, or captured.
You're looking for the second one. You're looking for the name of the town or like the very specific
Yes.
location outside of the town
The
The
town.
name of the town.
that the battle is named after.
What if I name both and only get one right?
Don't do that.
Yeah,
That's
I've got an idea
insane.
for the first part, but I know the second part for sure.
No, I'm naming both, and you can go suck a butt.
I'll only accept the first one.
Put your best foot forward.
Look, I'm being nice and giving you full credit for only getting one part of the two-pronged answer. You
said
should be
whole
saying,
Not a two-pronged answer. You said name either one.
yeah, so you have two options and you only need to give me one. All right, Jake, what are you doing here?
Going with Gettysburg.
Alden,
Jackson.
Nick,
Yeah, I said Gettysburg for the first part, but I was thinking the
Vicksburg.
first part had I answered was going to be Vicksburg.
Vicksburg.
Well,
It's Vicksburg.
that was right. The Mississippi city is Vicksburg.
You're darn right it is.
Battle was Gettysburg.
It's
Vicksburg.
Orlando.
Vicksburg.
Question 4. Officially the International Exhibition of Arts, Manufactures, and Products of the Soil and Mine. What hosted America's first World's Fair from May 10th to November 10th, 1876, in commemoration of the centennial?
We've actually talked about this before, Alden, on the show.
Yeah. Did we?
Yep.
I don't know if I was there for that.
And now that I say that, I'm probably going to get it wrong.
Well, Jake,
St. Louis.
Alden,
Oh, yeah, Chicago. So it looks like I'm wrong.
Nick also says St. Louis. So St. Louis held the Trans-Mississippian World's Fair in 1904, and they did this to essentially bully the International Olympic Committee to allowing St. Louis to also host the 1904 Olympics, which they really weren't in a good position to do because St. Louis in 1904 was not an easy place to get to. But they said, well, we're going to have a World's Fair anyway, so you better let us do it.
Yeah, because that was the whole thing with the World's Fairs, is that they were going to happen anyway. And I'm more interested in the weird alternative conspiratorial side of like the World's Fairs history. And I have no idea about the official narratives of it, but
Well, in any case, St. Louis did hold the World's Fair in 1904. I'm sure Chicago did at one time, but the one that I'm looking for here is Philadelphia.
cool.
Stupid.
Okay, well,
Never even heard of that.
fine.
I've never
Yeah,
heard
fuck-
of Philadelphia. This is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
fuck that place.
Audience also says
Greasy.
St. Louis.
Greasy
Question
fucking
5.
lamppost.
To mark the sesquicentennial, the U.S. Mint released this commemorative $50 featuring George Washington and what then current president?
Is that when you see 100 Sasquatch sightings? What is a sesquicentennial?
Centennial.
I prefer what you said.
yeah.
I'm supposed to know what presidents look like.
Yeah.
Sure. Or know what sesquicentennial means and know who was the president then.
Also not gonna happen. I hate this music so much.
Jake,
I don't know. I said Hoover.
Alden,
I mean, I don't know. John Adams. I don't even know what sesquicentennial even means. So
Nick,
I wrote something and then I figured I was wrong, and so
Grover Cleveland.
I got nothing on this one.
It's Trump.
well, sesquicentennial is a 150th anniversary, which means
Obviously.
it happened in 1926, which means the president at the time was Calvin Coolidge.
We all knew that. We just were.
The audience
playing with
didn't
you.
know.
The audience did know.
The audience did.
Yeah.
Does Hannah know that?
No.
God,
Gnome knew that?
No, suck a butt, man.
No,
Fuck
yeah,
us,
no,
fuck,
what the
you
hell?
know.
Gnome probably has one of these.
No, go do more.
It is.
Well, no one's alive at this point,
I can't
so
believe Calvin Coolidge is on a friggin' coin.
hey,
Useless.
he's
bro.
one of the better presidents we've had.
Excuse you.
I'm trying to die and not say the word Calvin Coolidge more than 10 times.
No, he was a decent. He was one of the better presidents we've had.
But no one cares.
All right, question 6. Organized to commemorate the bicentennial, the Judgment of Paris was a competition of what product between the United States and France? Much to everyone's surprise and the chagrin of the French judges awarded the top prize to Americans in a blind test.
What year was this?
You should get that.
For real? No answer on the
You
year?
should
of
get
this?
it from the question.
Bicentennial.
Oh. Fine. I'm drunk, guys.
Jake,
I said fromage.
okay. Alden,
I'm saying
Cheese, Zane.
I'm saying cheese, but that's the same thing. Yeah. So
Nick,
My initial thought was baguettes. Then I wrote wine.
I almost
my
went
other
wine.
guess was going to be wine. Yeah.
Yeah, I was between cheese or wine because I was like, what'll piss off the French most? You know,
Frog
Like,
legs. Maybe.
Wine would piss off the French more than cheese.
I don't know.
The audience says champagne, which unfortunately is not right because it's too specific in a way
It's
that's
wine.
incorrect, but it is wine.
Damn it, that was my other. I seriously almost went wine. I'm so mad. I mean, not like I'm gonna win. This is one of my worst showings in history.
I'm friggin' furious at that one.
You just didn't know your vexillology, Alden.
My
Yeah.
what?
Your
Vexillology.
vexillology.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Two. Alden has 1.
Yes, I got nothing that round.
Jake has 12. Nick has 13.
What's audience have?
6.
Okay. Anyone's game, except maybe Alden.
Yeah, it's probably not my game.
All right. Round 3. Laws of the game. Question 1. Originally written by Ebenezer Cobb Morley in 1863, the laws of the game are the only rules recognized by what international governing body?
What in the Jeopardy hell is
What?
happening here?
What is this?
What I know the word "are" and "the" in that question. Like, what is fucking happening? I've never felt dumber than when I play Zane's trivia. I don't even know how to answer this. It's like it's Nepal again. I don't know. Like, Christ.
We're talking about a sport here?
It looks like
I'm asking for the name of an international governing body.
An international governing body of a sport? You're not going to answer any questions.
I
here,
know.
are you?
I know nothing about whatever this would be.
I don't know what this is.
All right, Jake.
FIFA.
I'm gonna say Nepal. You know.
Nick also says FIFA.
That's the best. That's the best guess I have with context clues that we've had today.
I don't
The
know.
audience cricket. It is FIFA.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Hey! That was unexpected.
Ebenezer Cobb Morley was the first secretary, or was the secretary of the Football Association, and so he wrote the rules.
I was trying to figure out why he would have a stick in his hand, and I thought that might be a hint of some sort. So I was
He was
thinking,
a slave owner.
like, cool.
No, he was British.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very
All right.
British.
Oh, that didn't help.
Question 2. How many laws of the game are there? Closest gets it.
Nepal.
Gosh.
I will say, as a little bit of a hint, each law does have several
Bylaws.
different sections and all that.
So, are the laws still the same laws that were there, just more detailed, or are we talking modern day laws that?
I don't know if the original laws were numbered the same way as the modern ones, but I am now talking about the modern laws.
I'm sorry, what? Modern laws?
Jake,
17.
Alden,
69.
Nick,
54.
there are exactly 17 laws of the game.
God,
No
Jesus
freaking
Christ.
way.
You
Okay.
didn't know that, Jake, or you
No,
guessed
I had
that?
no freaking clue. At first, I was going to guess 11. I still would have whooped y'all's butts.
We all know it's 69.
Question 3. One of the least understood rules in all of sports, Law 11 deals with what concept? It is illustrated by the black dashed line in this diagram.
You should have put in there one of the needlessly least understood rules. Alden,
Jake,
did you watch Ted Lasso?
Yeah.
Then you should know this one.
Is it playing
Big deal out
while
of
gay?
the first episode.
I have no idea.
Offsides.
Nick and the audience both also say offside. It is offside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck offsides in kickball is. I understand it in football. I understand it in hockey. I don't know what the fuck it is in soccer.
It's absurdly simple. It's absurdly simple. Yeah.
You're in front
Explain
of
it
the
to me
ball.
like I'm 2.
When the ball leaves the foot
Use the
of the person in
diagram.
possession, there has to be 2 defenders between you and the goal. That includes the goalkeeper.
You have to have defenders between you and the goal.
2. 2. The
You have to have 2
goalkeeper and
people
someone
between.
else is normal.
So like
Uh,
if you
hockey
just run
makes so
too
much
fast,
more
you're in trouble. This
If
game's
you,
dumb.
if you run forward too far, you're in trouble.
Yeah, this game's dumb.
That's so goofy. I prefer hockey where the puck's got to enter the offensive zone before any other
So
skaters.
it's similar. It's just not a defined zone.
I prefer getting
Zone-
beat in the head with a bag of oranges. That's
But
what I
like
prefer.
hockey makes it so simple because you're like, okay, the puck went in first, or no, that skater was across the blue line first. That's very simple, very objective.
All right.
And
Question
you can get ahead
4.
of defenders if you're fast.
Law 17 it deals with what set piece, which occurs when the defending team kicks the ball out of play over their own goal line, but not into the goal, obviously.
The hell's a set piece?
I don't know. Sounds like something on a table at a wedding.
Yeah.
Jake,
Corner kick.
Alden,
Nepal.
Nick also says corner kick.
It's
But
Nepal.
it's the corner kick.
Oh,
It's also
shit.
says that as well.
Yeah.
Which means at the end of trivia, we have Alden with 1.
Yes. Yes.
The audience was 12. Nick was 22, and tonight's winner was 24. Is Jake?
Hey! It's because I got
You beat me by guessing that fucking 17. I can't
I-
believe that. One
I've never
question
needed
difference.
a beer more in my life. One second.
Yeah. You
All right.
beat me
all
by
right.
one question because
we
you
go.
guessed the number right.
Yeah, I guessed it super well. All right, y'all. Just so everybody out there knows, we will be moving trivia to the after show here in the coming month or so. So,
Like we did last week.
like we did last week, we tested it out last week. I'm gonna mute Alden. You can hear him talking in the background. We did it last week. It went super well. Everybody seemed to enjoy it. Good night, Grumpy.
See you, Grumps.
Alden is epistling. Yeah, it'll give us more time to actually tackle some of the topics that we're going to talk about tonight. The big topic is still coming up, which is modern art versus beauty and individualism evil ? And all of that's related to the one video that we're going to watch, and then we're going to discuss a whole bunch, which I have lots of thoughts on it. So, yeah. So keep that in mind. If you tune into the show and trivia is one of the things that draws you in, it's going to be after the show. So starting around 10 p.m. Eastern each week.
Oh, good. I can duck out for it.
Alden, next week I'm going to design trivia specifically for you, buddy.
Okay.
It's gonna be fucking.
There's going to be
soccer and
one
Nick
round
Cage
of soccer
movies.
and 2 rounds of
No, then it's not specific. It's specifically against me. I
No,
know
Alden,
nothing
listen.
about soccer.
Listen, every
Yes.
guest, I design 1 round for them.
Is
The other
it the
2
last
rounds-
round that's weighted the heaviest? Because then I'll.
Yeah, no, you'll be the last round.
Yes.
It's gonna be soccer and Nick Cage movies.
Actually, we might do
I don't
Nick
know a
Cage.
lot about Nick Cage movies, actually.
So maybe brush up on some Nick Cage movies.
Oh, god damn it. Then it's all fucking just national treasure and just fucking gone in 60 seconds bullshit or whatever.
Yeah.
am not fucking drunk.
Every pretty girl deserves to go to a ball.
This is everything about it's a clam. I love it.
I don't
be honest with you, I feel like I'm a little bit too drunk to stand up.
Auf Wiedersehen, asshole.
I'm drunk right now.
All right, everybody. Welcome to Drunkard of the Week, the part of the show where we show somebody saying or doing something that can only be explained if they're drunk, but they're not. You can nominate folks, or you can nominate videos by tagging us on X, hashtag Drunkard of the Week, or at Liberty Libation, or by joining the Discord and joining the Hodler Media Club, or Hodler Media Club, depending on who you are. It's like a GIF.
Hodler. Yeah.
Hodler if you're French.
Yeah.
Get in the Discord, people.
Get in the Discord. It's a fun time. So head on over to peacefulc.network and check all that stuff out. And tonight's quick and easy. So here we go.
Wait, okay, go.
We want to be free to do what we want to do. Yeah. We want to get loaded. Yeah. And we want to have a good time.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wild.
Future in the NFL.
Lasered that in.
That seriously looked like it was shot out of like a mini potato gun. That was crazy.
Yeah. There's like no arc to that at all.
No, there's no trajectory at all. It was.
I need to see the speed and the spin on that.
Oh, that would be awesome if someone
The
could
like
calculate the speed.
the spiral on the marshmallow.
Oh, right.
There are some internet nerds that would be able to calculate the speed of that marshmallow.
There's some internet nerds.
You just
that'll
got to
be
know
able to
the
tell you
frame rate
that.
of the camera and count how many frames are in there. You can figure it out pretty easily.
You could. You're probably right. All right, y'all. Let's go into our big topic for the night. So we're definitely going to run over. Just so you know, we're definitely going to run over. This is going to take at least 30 minutes, I think. So stay tuned. I think it'll be a good discussion. I know Zane will have a lot to say. I actually think Alden will have a lot to say. Nick, undecided. I don't know what you'll have to say about this. We're going to find out. So let's watch the first video that I've got, and I've got a couple more after, but we'll discuss a little bit of the first one right here.
When you try to grab a lower good, right, and you try to grab it for itself, even when you try to grab beauty for itself, right? If beauty doesn't serve something higher, what happens is it starts to devolve, and then beauty isn't interesting enough, and so you start to move towards more, you could say, strange experiences and strange desires. And that's what we see in the modern world, is a kind of fascination with that which is strange and broken, right? A fascination with difference. And so this is what the entire modern experience is. And that's part of novelty too. It's like this idea that novelty has value in itself. I think it really is ultimately downstream from God. And it's related also to individualism, right? This movement away from us being together towards idiosyncratic expressions. The modern artist is more and more idiosyncratic in that he is supposed to express himself in difference from others. What do you think happens when you start to constantly emphasize how I'm different from you all the time over iterations? We end up with something that is ugly, because beauty is that which binds us. Beauty is that which we have in common. The shock of the different and the shock of the new, these are things that are expressions of our separation, an experience of alienation. So when I look at something that's repulsive, I am alienated. The thing is that it's not like there's not some kind of weird perverse pleasure in that repulsion, but that's happening everywhere, right? So it's like, if I emphasize difference, then I'm going to end up with something that is also exemplifying repulsion. These are analogous, so it's not surprising that they happen simultaneously in our culture. And while we're emphasizing idiosyncrasy and kind of individualism, that we are also exploring things that are repulsive. When you try to...
All right. Alden, since you're the resident artist,
artist,
give me your
artist
artist. Yeah. What are your?
All four of us are the resident autists.
Yeah, I feel like I've actually never felt like the not autist in the room as much as on this show, but so I think the concept of first of all, the concept of modern is always changing. It's like a moving goalpost.
For sure.
I think the concept.
I think what he's referring to, what he's referring to is like basically the last 100 years.
Yeah, I mean, like we could think of as like post World War II or whatever as being like modern or whatever, in terms of both politics and art and whatever. Like, but like it'll always keep moving eventually. Like eventually we'll get to the point where like it'll, you know, we'll get to a new era and it'll, you know, we'll have a new defined chapter in art or whatever. So everything's always changing in general. And so when you have everything always changing, I actually think there's a balance between new and familiar. If you're too different, then it's weird and people don't find it attractive. This is like outsider art. This is like when you like have someone, like if someone grew up in a cave and didn't know anything about culture and was like, I made a piece of art and it was like, you know, it's some fucking just a banana in the sand, and you're like, well, then this is what's his fucking name? I hate him. The modern artist that sells like a piston shark or whatever for $10 million or anyway. So
like the banana duct tape to the wall.
Yeah, shit like that. Like there's certain levels of things that I hate or whatever, and but so I think there's a balance between familiar and different, and we're always walking that line because I think attraction comes from a level of the familiar and the intrigue that gets you to like think differently about it or whatever, and like you keep coming back to it because there's something that draws you in that's comfortable and familiar and new. If it's too comfortable and familiar only, if it's just too heavy into that, it becomes old eventually, it becomes familiar, it becomes tired. It's like your wife that you've had for 30 years that you cheat on. Like that's, you know, and if it's too new and weird, then you're like, what the hell is that? I don't understand this fucking music. I'm too old for that. Like, but like when you get the perfect balance of the two, that's when I think that you get like that prime for that window in time, and it's always changing. But that's what I think is like, whether it's like a mute song or logo, a painting or whatever, like something that can capture the greatest like combination of familiar and different, and something that's always on that leading edge of different. But then there's a handful of people that are like too far out there, and they're going to be the people that'll inform the next wave, but no one's into it now kind of thing. Like it's like the music that's too weird, and then like bands in 20 years will be like, you know what really inspired us was this weird fucking Mr. Bungle band from the 90s or whatever, and then, you know, whatever. Anyway.
So we're going to get to a lot of what you said, I actually kind of agree with. I never thought of it that way before. I think one of the things that he was specifically referring to, like many of the pieces of artwork that we consider masterpieces from like, you know, hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago.
Maybe not thousands.
Maybe not thousands.
Paintings? Yeah.
Maybe not thousands. Not just paintings, sculptures, stuff like that.
At Lascaux, France, the cave paintings.
It did seem like many of them were trying to capture the beauty of something rather than trying to put their own individual perspective on it.
It's hard to say because it's always through there, and relative to that time, maybe they were doing it differently than the baseline, and they stood out more. And those are what we remember today more. We don't know. Like, but.
That's true. And like by trying, I mean like literally, I know artists today who try to put their perspective into everything rather than the perspective being a byproduct of creating something beautiful.
Like objective beauty, like the concept of like trying to just record what is there already naturally or something.
Yeah,
like...
I do. Absolutely. And I do think there is objective beauty on Earth. I think the vast majority of people are attracted to objective beauty.
But then then we're talking about natural beauty. Like if we're like, hey, do you like this like go to a lake and be like, sit down and be like, are you enjoying the sunset? That's different than an artist that depicts that. And then 30 artists that depict that 30 different ways.
Yeah.
And then what artist stands out the most in the time? There's also people. And like, I like weird music. Like I tend to, I'm actually on the side of like, I probably like the music that isn't popular today, but informs music in the next decade or something. You know what I mean? Like I like odd shit or whatever. And everyone's kind of a different thing like that. And a lot of the times the artists that in the history books that were like, this person was so great. In their time, while they were alive, no one knew him. Everyone fucking no one gave a shit. The only painting that fucking was sold was like to their brother or some shit, and then they cut off their ear, and then they would win insane, and then they die.
Yeah.
And then they're famous. Like it's after the fact. Like, so a lot of the time it's actual art is ahead of the curve and is not appreciated until fucking after the fact any fucking way. Like,
fair. I would like to play another video that
You're not even gonna let me comment on this.
I'm
gonna let you.
Oh, okay.
The previous video that we just watched reminded me of another video that I went and found because
Two Girls, One Cup.
Yeah, it's one of the original. It's beauty. It's
been
beauty
a while since I've seen it. It's really modern. Right. Yeah. It's postmodern, some would say.
I
would even call it pre-modern.
We've been enjoying this for 1,000 years.
I tend to agree with that speaker about how a ton of modern art, and I'm referring to stuff mainly within the last 20 years.
Damien Hirst, by the way, that's the name. I hate that guy.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. There's a place in the world for it. Can't stand Damien Hirst. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
That's fair. I do think not necessarily just in the art world, but in the world in general, I think beauty is being taken away slowly but surely. And we're going to get to that here in a second. But I think it's by, some would say necessity, some would say economics, some would say, I don't know. I'm sure other people have other reasons. But Zane, I am interested to hear what your thoughts are on what Alden just dove into.
Spouted out, yeah.
Yeah, so I definitely would say that there is objective beauty, but I think that objective beauty can be drawn out in different ways. So like natural beauty, it like exists directly in creation. But then if an artist comes along and paints a painting or makes a sculpture or something, that is depicting that in a certain way that draws out or accentuates some aspect of its beauty. And it's beautiful, I would say, in a different way than the original is.
The source material, the inspiration.
So like I was sitting in a cafe last, not to brag about going on vacation, but last summer, and I remember this because I was talking to my dad about it. We were in a cafe around Mount Rainier, and the cafe had a big mural of Mount Rainier on it. And I was like, this painting...
Did you have a fart attack? It was so beautiful,
This painting of Mount Rainier is actually more beautiful and appropriate to the setting than a big photograph of the mountain would be. And I was trying to reflect on why that is. And it's because the painting kind of is an idealized version of it in a certain way that communicates exactly what the artist was trying to communicate about his experience of witnessing the mountain and depicting it. So
what cafe
I think that good art, what?
I used to live near Rainier, actually. I was just curious what cafe it was. I don't know if I've been there, but
I forget the name of it.
No worries, that's fine.
But I think that what makes art good, or part of what makes art good, is the artist having something true, good, and beautiful to say about their subject matter, or like being able to communicate the existing beauty of it in a way that adds or at least portrays well the beauty that is there. And the problem with a lot of modern art is that they really don't have anything true, good, and beautiful to say about anything. Their only goal is to be as different and transgressive as possible. And so you end up with a bunch of garbage that isn't beautiful. And to make one digression, I would also say that by this definition, it's actually impossible for artificial intelligence to create art. And it's because artificial intelligence does not have a human experience because it is not human. So it actually doesn't matter how intelligent it is or what it produces. By my definition of art, it can't be art.
Dude, couldn't agree with you more. Couldn't agree with you more. And I think you said a bunch of very pertinent things. And I think when like that painting of Mount Rainier, like the artist, like put time, effort, energy into those brushstrokes, into
it's humanity and creation interacting in a way that the humanity actually glorifies the natural world.
Yes. Yes.
And so like in a movie, video game or something, like a lot of the time the lighting will be like more dramatized or like more extreme, or like, you know, then like if there's a couple moments in a day where we get the golden hour where we're like, ooh, wow, the lighting's intense, the sunset is beautiful. And it's like, but as a ratio for the day, it's like, I don't know, whatever, 4% of the day where you get this crazy lighting. And as an artist, and you know, as a, whether it's like a director of photography or as a painter or whatever, you're trying to like highlight those moments that really like strike you, you know. And so a movie might not be an accurate representation, but it will be an emotional depiction more. Like it'll be something that calls upon those like memories that you've had, or like moments that you've had where you've had an experience in this way, or you captured for one moment for like 4 seconds, the sunset where the sun's going down and this crazy lighting, or like one time or like where this thing happened. And that's where art can be. This is where like Cubism even like came across and it was like, we're gonna showcase 4 moments at one time because we're assholes and whatever. Like we can do that. And like, and this is just the concept of experience is the, I agree with Zane in the sense that like AI can't do this because experience is the core of art, and like sharing it with another person. And why I'm not as into realism. It's impressive that someone can be like, I can paint your toenail exactly as it is. And I'm like, I don't care. I mean, it's cool, but like, I don't care. Like, I'm not going to put it on my wall because it doesn't make me feel anything, because I can look at it and like, it's the same, like it doesn't, it's no different than I see it. Like, it's cool, but like, no, thank you. Like, anyway, that's what real art, I think, not to say that like photorealism isn't a stage of art, but it's like Van Gogh learned how to paint realistically before he decided to bend the rules and go impressionist and you know, invent
a stage of getting to the point of creating actual art.
I would say it's art at a different level of conveying something other than just a one frame of just what is all the time as you see it, and going more into how you feel from it, and like trying to express that and trying to elicit that response. And then there's how you feel, and then you creating it. And then art is always, if you're sharing it with another person and then you're opening it up to the audience, there's that participation, and that's a whole other thing. And David Bowie has actually talked about this in a really cool way, where he's talked about like once you share it with someone, he's like, you have no control over it, and it's like it's its own thing, and it's like, let someone just have whatever experience it is, and like don't try to like sculpt it. And like once you give it out to someone, you know, whatever they make from it is what they make from it, you know. And it's, you surrender it at that point, like where it's like you did your part, and but you don't have to have, and like, you know, there's certain, like Tool used to never put, this is the second time I brought Tool up in this episode, but Tool used to never put lyrics until like their most recent album or whatever. They used to never put lyrics in their, you know, old, like I'm old now, but like CDs, like where you would have the old booklet where there would be like, every band was like exactly the lyrics in there or whatever. And Tool was like, nope, like whatever you get from it, you get from it. You know what I mean? Like if you heard this, then it elicited that response and that visual and that, and it could be totally the wrong words. And they were like, we don't give a shit. We were like, that's your experience with our art now. Like at this point, it was actually a really cool stance to take, to not put your lyrics in the CD anyway.
Yeah.
So I would say that I agree more than disagree with that. And that I would definitely say that a crucial part of any engagement with art is talking about it with other people, because inevitably, whether it's a piece of literature or a poem, or even like if you're like wine tasting, other people are going to notice things about it that you don't. And by discussing it, This is, I think, why people like don't read fiction as much as maybe they used to, because the institution of the book club, like, people don't take it seriously anymore. But actually, the discussion of the book is the main point of it. It's that you get to experience not only your own experience of reading the book, but then you also get to go and have other people relate to you what their experience was, and you can also benefit from that and enrich your own understanding of it. However, I would say that I would hesitate to affirm your kind of radical subjectivism of we're not even going to say what the words are because it's just whatever you hear. That strikes me as being a little bit lazy. And I think that art. No. I think that hold on. I think that artist does have to have some objective content in mind.
No,
or else
you don't
they're not
have
saying
to.
or else they're not saying anything.
No, that's
no. The
Zane,
problem is
Zane,
Alden, let him finish. Let him finish.
So if we're saying an artist what they
Alden, let him finish.
If we're saying that it's a benefit for people to discuss with each other what their experience of an art is, you can't say, well, the artist themselves doesn't have to have any experience of it. They're just pooping it out with no understanding of what they even think that it means.
Zane, you can have a broader range than if people meet in a room and they're like, I got this from it and I got way that over there that from it. If you don't include the official words or whatever, it just broadens the pool of experience that you have to pull from. You can't, the whole thing with you can't tell an artist what to do. You can't have the whole thing. You can't have a framework. I can do what I want. Well, then fuck off. And an artist will tell you that. An artist will tell you fuck off. An artist probably was like, fuck this shit, and was like, I'm not going to put the words in because everyone does it. An artist is going to do a different thing. That's the whole, we just watched a whole fucking video on the whole concept of doing something fucking different. That's the whole point, is to be different. Jesus Christ, man.
No, his point.
No, I don't think that
that was the point of the video.
I think the whole point is to be true, good, and beautiful. And if you can accomplish that by doing something that nobody's ever done before and being different, then that's awesome. You have a unique way of communicating something that no one else has ever seen. But I think the point your primary goal can't be to be different, because then you won't have anything.
Again, it can be whatever you want. Can't is not a word in art. Again, it just you might not like it, but it's not a word that exists in art. You can do whatever the fuck you want with it. Whatever your goal is, it can be that. That's the whole thing. Whatever you want to do with it. If you want to,
I'm just saying I disagree with this philosophy of art to the extent that it
it can exist outside of your belief, and that's the whole thing.
What I think Zane's getting at here, maybe a little bit, is what's more analogous is maybe, less so the whatever words you hear are what you hear. And it would be more the objective truth in it is what the words are, and how you interpret the words, and what you see is sort of your impression, your feeling, your interpretation of it versus, looking at a painting, you're seeing what's there, and then it's your interpretation is that. But, if the words are subject to change based off of what you think you heard versus what's actually there, now you don't have the truth.
What truth?
Right.
You have your truth.
Well, right. So, like Zane said, truth.
That's not a thing.
Even the artist's truth is going to.
That's your perspective. Look, modern day people get truth and perspective intertwined. There's no such thing as your truth. It's your experience or your perspective, and truth is an absolute. There's no your truth, and all these people spouting out. Tell your truth, show your truth, demonstrate your truth. That's all bullshit. That's not a thing. You're demonstrating or showing or putting down on the canvas your perspective, your feelings, your thoughts, not your truth, because truth is not relative. Truth is objective. Truth is objective. It's one thing.
There is a philosophy on objective truth, though, versus an experiential truth, which
That,
you ever
that,
read
that what they're describing is perspective and experience. It's not.
Yeah,
true.
right, of course. But the concept of something that can be true is like, well, does true then influence the next step as if it were a reality? And it's like that can happen to someone whether it was officially objectively true or not. Did you ever read The Things They Carried by Tim O'Brien or whatever? Okay. So he talks about this a lot, and the whole thing was like with people that were like at war, and you think that you heard a twig snap in the woods or whatever when you're in Vietnam or whatever, and you think it's someone coming to kill you, and the anxiety, the felt reaction to that is just as real as if it was objectively true.
Correct.
But the reaction to it is the same. And so it was a whole thing on
their feelings are true, but their experience and their thoughts on what was happening is not true.
The experience.
The only truth would be the twig snapping. That would be the only truth.
Yeah, the only
and like
truth
what
in
broke
that
it.
scenario would be
That's objective truth. That's kind of so again with just like
only
the
truth there is.
well,
I don't believe. I just do not believe that there is a non-objective truth. I think exactly what you're describing is someone's interpretation and experience.
Well, I mean,
an event.
It kind of this calls up a deeper layer of like, is the universe one objective truth and reality, or is this some weird like projection of a hologram of consciousness, and we're creating our own, reality based on something
it's
or
a
whatever?
simulation.
Well, and we don't.
Test that I don't think that it's that.
Well, I actually think we're living in Grumpy Gnome's brain right now. That's
all it is. Yeah.
Well, I guess Alden, you're right in saying that there is a school of philosophy that just denies the existence of objective truth altogether. That's essentially what postmodernism is.
Right.
And so you are correct in saying there are people who would say that. I'm not one of them.
I'm not specifically advocating for that is the thing, but I think it's an interesting thought experiment, and I think it's worth holding.
I actually agree with you. It is an interesting thought experiment. And I don't disagree with going down some of these paths from time to time, and like entertaining ideas and being open to things that you didn't think were true or correct or real.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean that just because I'm going down that road and exploring it a little bit, that does not mean that I think in the end that it is correct or true or real.
Objectively true. Right. And I can hold both. You know what I mean? And I think that there might be some truth in between these of like, that like both can be quote unquote true in a way, in their own way or whatever. I went to the Rothko Chapel in Houston. Have you ever been there, Jake?
No.
I know you're from Dallas more than
States. Houston sucks butt.
Houston mostly sucks. I would say this is the best part of Houston, honestly. Houston's
kind
of a mess. Yeah. I was driving through and I was like, I knew this was there, and I was like, I'm gonna stop here and do it's like the one thing I wanted to do. I got a margarita and I did this. That was like the thing.
Nice.
So, but the Rothko Chapel it's like an exhibit, and if you know Rothko at all, he's like very like in the modern sense of just like it. If you just see it in a textbook, it's just like a wall, like a square of color, like, and it doesn't look like much. And I remember being in art school. Yeah, there it is. Okay, yeah. So they have the reflecting pool kind of thing, looking type of thing in front of it. And when you're in there, I forget if it's a hexagon or an octagon or whatever, but it's a room that has a couple of like, walls around it, and you sit and you just like look at these pieces that are, I mean, when I say larger than life, I mean, these things are fucking 15 by 30 feet or some crazy fucking thing. They're huge. And you sit at a bench and you look at it and you get really lost in it. We sat there and we had like an hour or two, and it felt like 7 minutes. It was crazy. Time disappeared. It was really weird. It was this strange experience. And the whole point, I knew I wanted to go see it and like experience it, but like I got it once I did it. You project your own, like it's a blank canvas for you to project your own like consciousness onto the images, and like you see the minute differences in the brushstrokes, and you're like, oh, I see like my grandma's face or my dead cat or like it's all, I don't know, it's all dead things for me, but like maybe that's my thing. Maybe I'm going through some shit, and like that's what I see. I see my dead grandma, like whatever the thing is, it's there for you to be a platform for you to like bring yourself to and plug in and kind of be like, oh, like this is cool. It's like this meditative, weird experience. And honestly, it was one of the trippiest, no drugs. I went sober as a nail, and like it was bizarre what I experienced through it. It felt like I was on drugs. It was very interesting. And I got it. I feel like now Rothko is one of my favorite painters because of that, because of the concept of like, the whole point was like, nope, I'm not trying to tell you anything. This goes back to the lyrics thing and the not including it and the like being like, nope, this is just a medium for the participants, for the audience to project whatever they want onto it. Instead of the artist trying to be like, I'm telling you this, it was like, I'm giving you the tools for you to have an experience, and it's going to be 100% different person to person. Yeah. And it's one of the most impactful experiences I've ever had with any art ever.
I love it.
And what is the objective truth? What is the thing that he was trying to say? Well, I don't fucking, who cares? I don't know. Like, like, was he trying to be like, the government is stupid? Was that what he was trying to say by blue square number 5? Like, I don't know. Like,
yeah, no, I agree. I don't think there has to be objective truth with art. Like, I think that much art is up for interpretation, much like the ending of Inception. Like, I think
the spinning top wiggles.
Yeah, I think that movie is a work of art, and
it's a good movie. Yeah,
and I think
but the movie still has content. So I'm not saying that the Roscoe Chapel isn't art, but I am saying it sounds like you had a very deep experience in your own mind. I'm not sure that Roscoe really had anything that he was trying to.
Everything we experience is in our own mind. All of our senses are bringing.
No, but you had no fellowship with Roscoe in this experience. No, I'm saying I think in most art there is communication between the artist and the viewer. Both of them have, like, the artist is bringing their what's the right word, their interpretation or their presentation of reality through their own lens. They're bringing this to you, and then you can also, that can evoke a different feeling in you, or it can evoke a similar feeling, or it can have this multiplicity of effects. But there is a dialogue, so to speak.
So that's more, I mean, that's a different kind of art in a sense, almost like story, where like if you tell someone a story, you're following along the points of the story. Now the story might mean something different to you versus another person, but the story, we can track the story, like the plot is sort of like a known thing. And then if you get into like, there's layers. So if you get into like, okay, he said literally in quotes this to this person, but there was like this, metaphor in what he said, and like, what does the metaphor mean? And like, there's this like recurring theme of the crow or the whatever, the winter or the, and like, what does that mean? And it's like, the seasons, and it could mean like, the fragility of life, and nothing is permanent, and whatever, like, but that can be interpreted so differently depending on, maybe it's interpreted very differently from someone who's 7, 17, 27, and 97, if we're talking about the timelines of life. And but it's written, here's the plot, like, and so that's like the literally we could talk about like what's been given. But I think it's interesting when an artist presents only the metaphor, or like the purest, vaguest sense of just like abstractness, like to the point where you bring your own. It's just.
I don't think that really communicates anything. If anything, that sounds like a tool, like a tool of self-examination.
Yes, no, that is exactly
another moment where a tool was brought up.
So what this is sounding like, right, is what, and I've never been to the Houston besides flying through the airport or this Rothko Chapel or whatever.
Right.
But almost what it comes down to is like we're calling it art because that's kind of the broad category that we in the English language have for it.
I mean, we call Taylor Swift art too, and that's
no, we don't call Taylor Swift art.
Evermore was art. I'm sorry, Evermore and Folklore were art. That was beautiful.
But what we're saying here is just because it kind of fits into the broad category, it's being labeled as art, but it seems like it's almost a different kind of context that you don't have a word in the English language to actually describe what, something that is created for your interpretation and depiction of, where, the definition of art that we're looking at does include some sort of truth, beauty, and actual dialogue between the artist who created it, and that once an artist is creating something that's not really, I'm putting this out there for you to interpret, but rather I'm putting this thing out there and you project whatever you think on it. That's almost a different category.
Well, it's establishing a boundary, which art is always doing. Art is always establishing and pushing new boundaries. And this particular form that I'm talking about is like establishing this really abstract, like zero boundary, like in the other direction of like not a message, but in the what's the least that I can do and still be art. Like
what I'm getting at is that without any constraints of any kind of objectivity on it, it's almost like a different kind of word that the English language lacks the term.
And I think Alden, as often happens, our core disagreement is religious, because I would not say that the point of art is to constantly push boundaries. I would say that ultimately the point of art is to glorify God, and if you do that in creative ways, then that's awesome. And I don't expect you to believe that. But
how many artists?
I think we need to understand where
wouldn't say that.
What?
How many artists themselves wouldn't say that?
I don't know. But
a lot.
I think most of them, probably up to about 1900, probably would say that.
Well, okay, but like there's clearly another defining parameter of what art is if it can exist without God in the artist's mind.
It's
but is it art?
I think there was a shift at one point. I don't know when that point was or what caused it, but
it was when Zane was born.
What's that?
Zane's the Antichrist. He killed it.
Now, it does kind of feel like there was some type of shift. Actually, let's. Was
it a schism?
It might be a schism. Let's watch the next video I had in mind, because this is a perfect segue. So this is depicting, this is showing you the transition of architecture and how architecture has shifted from something that has much detail, has a lot of beauty associated with it, is somewhat unique and warm, to something that is now extremely cold.
We don't even have time to get into the weird theories about this and like the things that exist in this world from a certain time or like made in a previous era that we don't even understand, and with sometimes technology that we aren't told about. And
if you talk architecture, you go from fucking Art Deco to fucking brutalist, and it's like, what the fuck
that's
did we
all
lose there?
Yeah, that's a different timeline. And we could talk about that kind of a thing or whatever, but
yeah, it is something that I've been very frustrated with how architecture is approached in the current age. Is everything is super minimal. It's super it's people trying to be extremely economical rather than understanding that beauty and creating something beautiful, even if it's the smallest little building, will increase the quality of the earth and
of experience.
Yeah, just increase the quality of the human experience overall, and provide ultimately,
or like through
more
experience.
Provide more for human existence, human productivity, human enjoyment. Something's been lost. And Alden, there are definitely theories around this, and Tucker Carlson actually did a whole thing on this.
Really, Tucker Carlson did?
Yeah, on why architecture has become the way it is. You should go watch that one.
That is interesting. Yeah.
Really
How
weird.
weird does he get with it? Like
Real weird.
Really? Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, he gets real weird with it.
Like mud flood weird, and like past civilizations weird, or like how weird, like your version of weird or my version of weird, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know, Alden. So, there are times when I prepare trivia and I think Alden's going to love this, and you're like, this doesn't even begin to cover what I think about this, and I'm like, well, son of a bitch. Then
but that's the whole thing. I am the weirdo here, trying to just like pull you guys into weirdom all the time. And
we're trying to pull you into Bitcoindom. So
no, you're trying to pull me into goddom. This
that too.
I will say this maybe hasn't been my best evangelical effort, because everyone knows you can't argue someone into belief. So if I've been coming across as trying to do that, I apologize. But I would say the level of weirdness that I will get to is that brutalism was obviously like a Soviet effort to crush the human soul. Like, I don't think that I think this is just well accepted at this point, that the point of it is to make people sad.
It was a defeatist effort to
but fucking brutalism took off here in the US also. So I mean,
well,
probably
and then you saw I think this was in Trump's first term, where he put out the executive order that said new federal buildings have to look nice, and the left completely flipped out over it because they refuse to acknowledge the concept of beauty at all. Essentially,
well, it's so subjective. How do you even?
So Alden, this is actually
what
I was going to. This is individualism evil ? And so this is how I was actually going to bring it back to the Libertarian Party. And something clicked when I watched the original video for the modern art versus beauty topic that we were talking about earlier. And in the caption was, what was the dadgum caption? Hang on. Give me one.
It was like individualism is repulsive, or
individualism is repulsive. And so what the so we're going to bring this back to libertarianism for just a second.
No, of course. That's the whole point of this.
And so
the birth of this channel or whatever.
Yeah. So what something clicked in my brain was that the Libertarian Party stands for individual rights, and it stands for the individual is the smallest minority, and those rights need to be protected. The split within the Libertarian Party, which is between lefty libertarians and true libertarians, is that a fair? Is that a fair?
I would say that's not a fair characterization.
Let me finish. Stop interrupting.
Okay.
I believe it is individual. It's the belief in individualism that is the split. I think it is people.
It's rooted in that, like I think anchored around that.
The lefty people who come to convention dressed as fairies are wearing very inappropriate attire and behaving in incredibly inappropriate ways, are all about individualism and not only about individual liberty, which is what the party is supposed to be about. They're trying to express their individuality in a setting that is meant to be a professional organization to defend individual rights. And I actually kind of agree with this guy saying individualism is repulsive, because humans need other humans to function, exist, and be happy.
But what if being repulsed is a natural human emotion? Disgust is like a human emotion.
Yeah.
And what if, similar to anger, we need to rein that in for ourselves, the same way that we should not then make a law about someone who offends us on the level of repulsion or disgust.
Oh, I'm not.
And move about them. Well, and maybe you're not, and that's interesting. And I didn't mean to put that on you, but to just, I feel like libertarianism is funny, and that it attracts an interesting group of people, and some of those people are like kind of like the weird, out there, boundary pushing artist types or whatever. Guys, I'm like one of those people. I'm not saying I'm gonna go half naked to an event or whatever, just because like I'm not gonna do that. But like,
you maintain social norms, though. You generally maintain social norms in your interactions with people.
Yeah, mostly. It depends on how drunk I get or whatever. But
mostly he is correct, Alden. I've been around you long enough.
yeah, I do, but I can appreciate someone who thinks and does something just totally outside the box in a way or whatever, and I can see at least where it's not worth trying to contain that for the principle of it or whatever. Like, how many people were at the events that you're talking about, and like what was it, like 2 or 3 people that like you noticed that were like, you know, that level of alcohol? Oh, okay.
Not a couple hundred.
I wasn't there. I don't know.
A substantial amount of people behave and or dress inappropriately for a business organization.
I would say if it's something like, if it's truly a meeting and it's like, hey, we're here to conduct this business, and you're interrupting the meeting, the classroom, the whatever. Like, if you're genuinely like trying to stop the thing from happening that's there, then, you know, at that point,
not necessarily.
I
think it's distract and make it about themselves.
That's what I was about to say is that, right, when you're coming together as a group voluntarily, you know, there's certain social norms that we've adopted, certain standards that we hold that aren't laws, but you know, that's as a society what we've come to. And when you show up with your nuts hanging out in a fucking tutu or fairy costume or whatever, you are saying, look at me, and calling attention to yourself.
So what's
just for the purpose of saying, look at how special an individual I am, when everyone else is saying, hey, us as a group are trying to get things done. We're trying to conduct this stuff. Like, there's a time and a place if you want to go do your thing, but like right here, right now is not the time and place for that.
No, I hear you
coming out here and saying your individualism trumps everything we're trying to get out on this, and not having the wherewithal to hold back and say, hey, I'm just going to show up looking normal, you know.
What's your response to it? Like, what rule would you make to rein this in, or to, you know,
Look, I'm all for having a dress code at the Libertarian Convention. All for it. 100%.
On the floor when doing business, and then outside of that, you go do what you want. But
100%. As soon as you walk out that door, strip off your, you know, tear away clothing and wear whatever the frick you want.
It's not even, and like when this argument happened, it wasn't even, you know, it was business casual, meaning like throw a pair of khakis and a collared shirt on. And that's, you know,
legit
that's not
question.
Asking too much. You know, I was on the floor in a suit most days. A lot of other people were too. And then you have people who are like, I'm going to wear my kilt and this ratty ass t-shirt. And it's like, if you wear a kilt, like in the like more formal Scottish way on that, it's a decent look. It's a formal look. You wear it with a ratty ass t-shirt. It's like, what the fuck are you doing this?
So legit question.
Yeah.
I don't know how to phrase this. Okay. In the libertarian, like, sense of things, I know that you guys are more like deep into it. You're you're at events, you're doing official things. Like I'm just an artist. I'm just a guy out here in the world that's just like thinking differently than people. And I've sort of just attached to this. I'm like a lone dolphin that just swims up to a pod that's just like, will you guys take me in? Because I don't like this other fucking group of asshole dolphins that are just idiots. You know, that's basically, I'm not saying I'm like of the libertarians in the same way that you are.
Right.
But is there is dealing with the handful of weirdos that are drawn to the libertarian side of things because it is different and because it is free and it is a group of people that supports, you know, individualism and freedom and liberty, is just tolerating them the way that just whatever you want to bring to it, fine, whatever, we just turn a blind eye. Like, is that better? Or like, is reining it in, do you see, could that bring you to what you guys are like? Could that be the thing that leads you to like become like the Dark Knight thing, like where you either fucking like die a hero or you fucking
live long enough to villain.
If you
going
don't
down that road,
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Alden, I know exactly
this
what.
one.
Yeah, you can take this one.
Well,
Yeah,
real quick, I don't need to fully answer it, but I do have one thing to say, which is that I don't see anything unlibertarian about any sort of dress code at a libertarian function, because my vision of an ideal society is not maximal self-expression. It is a system of voluntarily adopted structures of authority. Like, I think that in a lot of contexts, authority is good, and it's good to like consider what other people that have more expertise or wisdom than you have to say. And my issue is that the state and everything surrounding the state has so warped our structures of authority that the people whose authority we are now subject to are totally unworthy of it and incapable of doing anything constructive.
So you don't see the cause and effect of the warping of authority and then someone pushing back on authority in like a punk rock kind of way of just being like anti-it for a while because it's been bastardized. Like,
wait, could you say that again? I think I don't fully disagree with you, but I want to make sure I understand what you're saying.
The concept, so I'm with you in that like the concept of authority is one that should be, I think, earned. But when it is completely twisted around and manipulated and like, you know, in bed with like, it's this government and it's private entity and it's whatever, and it's like, it's turned against the citizen, and it's, you know, we all know the ways in this country where authority has gone awry. Mm-hmm. And so then the pushback on that, and not everyone is as fully educated or fully culturally in the same space that you are or whatever. That's why I brought up punk rock, which is like a bunch of teenagers that are like, you know what, I don't want to be told what to do. And their instinct is to go against it. Now, that might come from a good place, but it might look in a way that isn't as productive as, you know, adults might say, is like, oh, you're not like writing some new law that's like going to like help us get out of this. It's like, no, I just said fuck you to the cops and I performed a show in the middle of the highway and like was an asshole, whatever. Like, but there's a certain element that's shared, I think. And I don't necessarily want to snuff out entirely a thing just because it's presented in a way that's a little immature or a little not my style or a little whatever. And this kind of comes back to the art of it a little bit. And some people, it's not my style of art and I wouldn't do it or whatever. But is it like, does it behoove the movement, the party, the principles, like, to shut down something, or are you then again becoming another sort of like avenue toward what we already see, which is like confining things and you know, it's got to be a certain kind of a way.
I honestly think this.
So you're asking two questions here.
I may be.
One is a philosophical question of, by implementing these rules, are we turning ourselves into something that we don't want? And that's the question I answered before, which is no. I totally think that private authority is legit. And in my kind of private law, anarcho-capitalist society, there definitely would be the bohemians on the edges of society kind of doing their thing. And I would not say that we should create a state to force them to partake in the structures of authority that would exist at the center of the society. But what I would say is that the normative way of participating in the society would be kind of in harmony and cooperation with most of the other people in it, which would include voluntarily adopted authorities. Like even on this show, Jake, we all acknowledge that Jake is in charge. This is a system of authority that we have all agreed to by being on this show.
Okay.
There's also the strategic question is, should the Libertarian Party, given our current circumstances, how hard should we try to clamp down on people being weirdos? And
do you feel
my
like
gut instinct is that, sorry, what?
Do you feel like a weirdo sometimes in your life? Like, do you feel like as a libertarian, even just today in the space of things, like I imagine I feel like a minority a lot of the time in how I, see myself with like my, family and friends and other, like just the populace of how the parties go and votes go and things like that. It feels like a minority. And then there's a minority within a minority. So you're looking at a minority within your cultural minority and kind of applying a similar pressure that you might feel from an external majority. It's almost like a bully that gets bullied in school and then bullies their younger sibling or something like that, where I'm basically just asking, is it beneficial to continue that or to allow for some acceptance?
Well, the current state strategic part of your question is kind of irrelevant right now, because the people that Jake, Nick, and I would consider to be weirdos are the ones who are in charge. So at the moment, there's absolutely nothing that we can do about it. So that's kind of why I don't really have anything constructive to say on that. I'm just saying philosophically, I do not think that I'm contradicting myself by wanting to enforce in a private organization rules that I think are helpful for the operation of that organization.
So to get a little bit, I guess, of a slightly different perspective on this, there's kind of the Michael Malice left, are you left wing or right wing test, right? The what is it? Is one person? Do you think some people?
There's only two options: right wing or left wing.
Well, generally, right.
It feels like a flawed test, whatever, but fine, that's fine.
All right, so the test is: do you believe some people are better than others?
That's already a really
yes or no. Yes or no.
See,
do you believe some people are better than others?
This calls into this clean slate and soul.
Yes or no. Yes or no, Alden. Yes or no.
If you don't abide by, like, you have to abide by the rules of the test. So either yes or no.
The artist in me is very much saying "fuck you" to that. Like, and I'm like, I'm gonna explain my answer, and I would say if I had to pick one out of a security thing, I would say that no, that there's not a better person and worse person, without being able to go into details of it and like giving someone the benefit of the doubt and like seeing someone across a timeline outside of just like one, today, like right now, like, or whatever. Like if we were to live to be 2 million years old and
Alden.
I'm just saying, if this
okay. You
we
just proved
what you're saying. We've all done this test before, so
I haven't done this.
So now, okay, so if you're right wing, you're gonna say yes, some people are better than others. The person out there volunteering, doing charity or whatever is better than the pedophile, right?
Yeah, I can tell where this goes.
If you give a speech, left wing.
Yeah,
you gave a speech here.
Yeah. Okay.
So what I was trying to get at.
So there's two things. There's right wing and then the rest of the world. Fine. Yeah. Whatever.
I mean, you're right. I was trying to. So,
You could also devise a test to set me against left wing, and I would be against left wing on every single one of those.
Right. I know this is a broader mindset. I think.
Question. I know.
And it comes down to sort of this concept of authority.
By this test,
and how you
might land left wing, and by another test, I might land right. Like,
and how you brought up, the punk rock rebel against everything. And kind of where our perspective is I guess more towards a natural, there's natural hierarchies. Lobsters have hierarchies.
I literally was gonna reference the lobster thing, dude. That's so funny.
Yes. No, but or even as Tucker Carlson said at one point that he's an elitist. He just believes there should be impressive elites. And I don't disagree with that, right?
Lobsters is that, like, if environmental factors didn't kill them, they would never die. Like, speaking of living 2 million
pretty
years,
wild,
like,
right?
That's insane.
So
a weird critter.
So when we're looking at this, it's almost like the concept of the punk rock rebel against everything is because there's sort of this forced elite on you. Meanwhile, sort of in our perspective here, we're talking naturally. It's people that you would want to follow because they're impressive. There's wisdom there.
Like Trump, he's so wise,
Well, that's the thing. Trump is a product of the state.
Yeah. Meanwhile, when you're forced into a system where your elites are all fucking hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein, that's a whole different thing. Where it's like these aren't and their whole thing is, I've been elected here forever. I've gotten rich off of the American taxpayer and telling you what to do.
Yeah.
It's not an impressive elite. These people in Congress generally aren't anyone you look at and go, oh wow, look at how impressive, based on who you are. Some people might be like, oh wow, look how impressive you hold this position, but in your own right, people aren't going to look at, or generally aren't going to look and go, yeah, that's someone I would follow. It's just like, it falls into this sort of party politics sort of thing, and you end up with these elites in positions and you're like, I don't care about anything these guys say. And so in one way, the way you go is rebel against everything, but in sort of the voluntary way we're talking is you would go, I'm not listening to you fucking Jeffrey Epstein friends. I'm going to go find, the people that actually are talking sense, that are actually impressive, that are someone I would want to emulate. And in that case, when you're talking about, then you come into a private organization. Even what we were saying here isn't, don't go express yourself and do your thing. Just don't go do it right here where we're trying to do something else, and we're already operating under a set of rules. Because what you do when you don't rein that in is you get the fat fuck who got naked on stage 10 years ago, and we still get reminded of that because that's what a huge majority is. You don't rein that shit in, and the freak shows just go and fucking they pull all the attention. Or I think the one that's in mind of everyone is or the one that I think is everyone's mind is fucking Star Child, and he's running around in a fucking thong at in the DC convention, and he's the picture that's plastered everywhere by the media. Or he's standing there in that trying to argue with Dave Smith that Dave Smith should take him seriously and have him on to debate this or that, and he's like, no, I can't fucking take you seriously when you're standing there looking like that. Sorry, get the fuck out of here.
But that's like the social reaction to it is social rule or anything.
That's kind of a natural governance, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm kind of saying, is that, like, if you're going to act like that a lot of the time, even without official dress code rules or whatever, it sounds like there's a lot of people there that are like, fuck off. Like, and that's kind of my question. Not even point, because I genuinely don't know what's better. I don't know.
So,
but
like what I was going to say earlier, and we'll wrap up here because we're 45 minutes.
We're way past time.
But,
what you're describing, Alden, like, the Libertarian Party is there to help defend and put people in office to defend individual rights. Right. And that is an organization that you're voluntarily joining to help do that and to help go that direction and try to turn the American people that direction. If there are rules implemented within that organization, that is of no consequence to the objective of that organization. So the organization just wants to make sure that every individual gets all the same rights as all the other individuals. That's it. Mm-hmm. And so whether or not, this is why I believe the Libertarian Party should be run like a dictatorship. I don't think it should be run like a libertarian society, because it's not going to work. The media is going to take the Star Child photo and the shoe head photo and what, I forget that
shoe head. I don't know.
Fat naked guy photo.
Vernon Supreme. Vermin Supreme. He used to wear a boot on his head during debate.
Still does wear a boot on his head, just elsewhere.
And so you will not be taken seriously in a world of normies.
I'm used to that. So I'm used to people finding the weird conspiracy theorist and being like, this is what we're dealing with. And, just being like, and so like, I'm so used to that I'm just like.
But being used to it isn't going to get you anywhere.
Well, that's fair enough. That's a good
isn't going to get you further in a political world where it is.
It's like a play the game thing of like,
die if you don't win out. Right. And so
politics is a popularity contest, not a, how
this is a, do you hold to a principle to a fault, or do you bend enough to the rules of the game to maybe actually be able to participate and win the game? Like this is
it's not a bending of the principle, because the way that I want the state to operate, ideally to dissolve itself, has no bearing on how I want private organizations to operate.
Correct. Yeah, it is not a public organization. It is a voluntary organization that people can join under their own volition. And so being a part of it, if it became a dictatorship where one person is telling every single other person what to do, I have no problem with that, as long as they stay true to the principles. And yes, everything on earth gets corrupted over time. And so there are going to need to be people who keep that on course. However, the way we're doing it now is not productive. It doesn't lead to anything good. There are no good results coming from it. And it will ultimately lead to maybe not the destruction of the Libertarian Party, but the complete irrelevance of the Libertarian Party.
You might be right, honestly. I don't know. That's why I was all in questions with this. When it came to the art thing and the defining of art or whatever, I had hot opinions. But when it comes to this, I'm genuinely more questions, because I don't know what's quote unquote better, and it depends on what's your goal and like how do you define what's better, and like what is the professional environment that we're setting, and is it public and private, and like what's the who's the authority, and like, is authority good? And like, there's 1,000 avenues here that I am not as involved as you guys. So like, I'm just coming in as like, just kind of like, not even like trying to poke holes, just like probing for questions. The art thing is a different thing. That's where I'm like, I have strong stances with that.
I've had pretty strong stances with that in the past as well. Like to the point where I think it has actually hindered my ability to earn a living doing.
Welcome to being an artist. Yeah.
No.
That's like a legitimate thing.
Yeah,
I understand.
And I recently I've been trying to figure out how to compromise on things that don't destroy the soul of what I'm trying to do.
It is a fine fucking line. And I walk that line, and I feel like I need to even venture more into the territory of compromise than I have before, like for certain things.
I have been
able to make more money and blah blah blah. And like I totally understand that friction point or whatever. That's why I brought up all this with the Libertarian Party, and like what are the optics, and like what are the benefits of like raining down on this and making rules, or like what are the benefits of not. And like it's really just at that point I'm just kind of just an exercise in the philosophy of it behind it or whatever. But
well, to round out this this section, let's watch a video of a guy creating some modern art that is actually stunning. At least in my opinion. Hear that? Can y'all hear anything on there?
Yes. I hear a lot of loud slapping sounds. It's like drywaller ASMR. Oh, it's like a New York skyline kind of a thing. Yeah.
I might be weird and in the minority on this, but I actually think like glass skyscrapers are beautiful to look at.
No, that's cool.
Some of them are. Yeah.
Depends how it's done.
Lights, especially like a rainy street. I love like a rainy road that reflects the lights off of things instead, like which is what this looks like.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's beautiful.
No, it's cool. Sometimes
I like
the
it.
process is fun.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy these. Where I mean, he didn't use a brush the whole dadgum time, and
No, you don't have to use a brush. Yeah, that's cool.
I know. It's just
love
amazing.
it.
It's just amazing.
I think I'm like I mentioned this earlier, like in a side thing or whatever, but I'm legitimately really excited for the new Grand Theft Auto game because I think it's going to be the highest form of video game art in terms of like a refined, just visual experience that we're going to have ever had, just in terms of like the fidelity of like what the medium can do with like a crazy budget. Is it going to be the most indie crazy artsy thing or whatever? No, but like is it going to be the most technical achievement of our lifetimes in the medium? Yes, and I feel like it's going to be fucking insane, and I want to just be there and just like walk through the streets in the rain and see the lights. You know what I mean? Like that, like creating like things like that, like little moments. Like what 1,000 people that worked in this game come together and create this like flash of a moment with a sunset in the rain and the like crazy thing, and you're on a sea-doo and whatever. Like I don't know. I feel like it'll just be insane, like in that way, just in the artsy way or whatever. But
we got Alden's philosophy of GTA 6 before
GTA 6. Yeah.
Hey, I'm told it's coming, but by what? November is the release date now?
Yeah, 19th. Yeah.
November of 2030, I think.
We've only been waiting like
2050. Yeah.
We've only been waiting 12 years, I think, for a new one.
It's been a decade. Yeah, I'm very excited.
I remember running out and buying the new the last one my senior year of college. I was just like, fuck it. It comes out. I drove down to the GameStop that was nearby, picked up a copy, and
yeah. I used to remember like midnight releases of things where you go to GameStop. Yeah.
I was like debating. I was just like on a whim, just was like, all right, fuck it. I'm gonna go buy it, and just drove down there and grabbed it.
Yeah. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all sticking around for our very in-depth discussion on modern art, beauty, individualism, libertarianism, all of the above.
So did we resolve whether individualism is? Did we resolve individualism being evil or not? I feel like the evil part never came into this.
Open-ended question. I personally don't know at the moment. It might not be an answerable question.
We might have to come back to it after I've relieved myself via my epistle because I can't even think straight. I've got
Your
a piece
epistle?
of that. Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. It might be an open-ended question. You be the judge and dive a little deeper into it in your own time, because I do think it's an interesting thought experiment to go down, and especially in the libertarian world, there's
it really is, honestly.
Like a whole smorgasbord of choose from to dive into with that. So yeah, I don't know. Do some research for yourself and ponder that and read some books.
Read books.
All right, y'all.
And
We're gonna watch
play
funny
video
videos. Before we do, go on over to peacefulseed.network. Check out our other shows. Check out documentaries. We got 2 feature films in the works. Scripts are being written, and pre-production is currently happening on one of them. So go over there, check all that out. Philosophical Fall Guy, Cascade Effect, which is way behind on post-production, but it is what it is. And we're gonna watch some funny videos now, and then get out of here. So this was submitted by Some Quack, and she basically said, this is me and Nick talking about the World Cup. We're not going to watch this whole thing because it's long.
I've heard of it. So who's the group of death? There's no more group of death. What do you mean? The tournament expanded from 32 teams to 48. 48? Yeah, 48. How long is this tournament going to be? 6 months? Starts June 11th and ends July 19th. That's so long. That's not a tournament. That's a season. Yeah, maybe for the teams that go deep into the tourney, for sure, it's a long time. So what's the format? The group stage has 12 groups of 4 teams. Okay. Top 2 teams from each group advance to the knockout round. Okay, makes sense. And 8 of the third place teams advance as well. Based off of what, vibes? Points. If points are tied, then goal differential and so on. Okay, so then what? Then we are at the knockout stage in the round of 32. Okay, so after an entire group stage, we are now to where we were at the beginning of the past World Cup tournaments with 32 teams? Yeah, pretty much. Love lift us up where we belong. So who's the favorite to win the tournament? Well, first...
All right, that's all we're going to get into. It goes for a very long time. So
get in Discord, you can find the whole video. But
yes,
yeah,
you can.
It's fairly accurate.
It's fairly accurate. If you ever played Settlers of Catan, this next one is for you.
Hey, bro, you want to trade a ore for brick?
Yeah, I'll give you a brick.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, ore.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
have a good one.
Pleasure doing this.
I've got sheep. I've got wool. Does anyone want to trade? I've got plenty.
No.
No?
We're pretty good, man.
Good.
Thanks. Hey.
So anybody want sheep? Dude, every time. If you're not playing Seafarers, you don't want sheep. You just don't need sheep.
Yeah.
You gotta load up on those development cards.
Yeah, that's well,
yeah. If you're playing a development card game, you are. But
yeah, that's fair.
I'm always trying to be a road guy.
I like a road guy. Yeah, for sure. I'm a cities guy. I just build all the cities, but I possibly can. Man, we should. I can't believe the 3 of us have never played Catan together. That's crazy. All right, next video.
The most autistic board game ever invented. It is called The Campaign for North Africa. A reviewer said that if you and your group meet for 3 hours at a time twice a month, you'd wrap up the campaign in 20 years. It is called the most complex war game ever designed, with a commonly cited example that Italian troops require additional water supplies to prepare pasta. Reviewer Nicholas outlined the actions for one side single turn. As a first step before playing, the player or team must make unit organization charts for every one of the hundreds of counters on their side. Then, each turn, they have to plan strategic air missions, raid Malta, plan Axis convoys, raid convoys, distribute stores and consume stores, calculate spillage, evaporation of water, and adjust all supply dumps, reorganize units, calculate attrition of units short of water and stores, begin building construction, begin training, rearrange supplies, deploy Commonwealth fleet, ship repair, plan tactical air mission if airplanes are fueled, and in reaction, move more units, designate each tank and gun as deployed forward or back, release reserves, move rear trucks, begin repair of breakdowns, make patrols, repeat all movement a second time, repeat all movement a third time. This entire sequence would then be repeated by the other player, which would complete 1 turn.
You know when you're on like a family holiday and you're playing a card game and someone's never played it before?
Yeah.
And you just I'll explain to you the rules. Imagine trying to explain. It's simple. So we play this every year.
Yeah.
So it's quite a simple game. All
Every 20 years. We play it once in a generation.
Dude, that's the most libertarian sounding game of all. Like such autistic game. That's crazy.
$300 on eBay for a version of it.
No way. $300 for that stinking game. What is it even called?
They said The Campaign for North Africa.
Campaign for North Africa.
The Desert War, 1940 to 1943.
Unbelievable. That's exhausting. It's exhausting. All right. We got 2 more videos. This one is Redneck Heaven right here. The objective is to get your car on the trailer while the trailer continues.
Oh my goodness! Oh!
The objective is just get on the trailer.
Oh!
Yeah.
Nine could have it.
Awesome.
Nine doesn't have it.
Wow.
Oh! Get on!
Nope.
Nope.
There's not much more American than that.
That's big name American. Oh, wait. Did he get it?
Oh, the truck could have it.
No!
No, he's still off it.
We have a winner. That's Braden Shamlick in the 0-1.
His wheels were off it still.
You'd have to have a rear-wheel drive vehicle. You couldn't have a four-wheel drive or front-wheel drive because you're just going to end up flying up onto that trailer. All right, final one. This will be very happy for Alden because it's soccer related.
I came just in time.
Oh,
There's a ref running around Toronto
yellow!
giving out cars.
Hey, that's a red. That's a red. That's a red.
Oh! Red, yes, sir! That's right. Yes!
Come on, that's awesome. All right. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much.
He showed him the card. He didn't write the name in his naughty book, though.
He didn't write the name in his naughty book. You're correct. But appreciate everybody sticking around to the very end of this show. It is a literal 3-hour Liberty Libations. I hope you enjoyed it. This is why we're going to be doing trivia in the post show so that we can have these long conversations about these more interesting topics that are broader and
soccer. We're gonna have 3-hour conversations about soccer.
Nope.
I absolutely could have a 3-hour conversation about
I bet you could.
I've said about all I can say about that game.
Yeah, me too. Which is what is soccer? Yeah,
the most beautiful game. That's what it is.
No.
All right, y'all. Love you all. Zane, voteplacie.com.
Mudlord.
Zane for Mudlord.
Yeah. Blood and soil. All right, y'all. We'll see you next week on some more Liberty Libations. Drink and be free.
Crew